All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. Today, we're a little blurry. We good? No, we're not good. Why is the camera blurry? Hold on. Wait a second. I didn't ask for that. Apply. Close. Put that back where it belongs. There we go. Apply. Close. We're good. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. We've got a lot of battles going on today, but first and foremost, we got a lot to cover. A lot has happened since I last sat in front of this camera and talked to you guys. A lot such as, I don't know, the Houston Regional event, where I might have tied for 9th place. Who's to say? I'm to say. That's what happened. You know how fucking exciting that is? You know how crazy that is? Tied for 9th? Who we got in the chat right now? Let's go over who's in the chat right now. What we're going to do today is we're going to, first of all, say hello to everybody. I've missed you all so dearly. Then, we're going to go over the battles. We're going to cover all the battles that were on stream and one that wasn't. And then we're going to get into some battles for today. We're going to do a whole Houston recap. We're going to talk about the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows. It's a yap session. We're doing full-on yapping for quite a while. So buckle up, sit down, and shut up. We're doing it. Who do we have in this chat? Renner! Redeeming first. Renner, welcome to the stream. Dink, also redeeming second. Dink, welcome to the stream. Superboy, with the GLG Friends check-in. Superboy, we see you. Welcome on in. Toad, redeeming 69. Nice. Let's go. Welcome to the stream. I saw you cheer me on in the chat, by the way. I saw you cheer me on in the Pokemon Go Twitch chat while I was on stage. Appreciate the love. Hello to you as well, Superboy. Laney Dragonair, Miss Jelaine, welcome to the stream. Good morning from Singapore. Well, good evening from Las Vegas. It's so good to have you here. We got Cackerhead in the chat, a.k.a. Esteban, a.k.a. Also tied for 9th at the Houston Regional event for 2026. He's at work right now, so I don't know if he can still hear us, but if he can, I love you, brother. Yeah, still calling him Cac. I know. It's so hard not to. It's so hard not to call him Cackerhead. Jay reading the GLG Friends check-in. Jay, we see you. Welcome on in. Miss Dragonair with a 3-stream streak. What's going on? Let's go. Buddha Lover 310. What up, BL? Welcome to the stream. Give me your arms. Give me a hug. Welcome on in. And Murph. Oh my goodness. Murph with the huge raid to start off the stream. Murph and the Raiders. Welcome on in. Can we get a shout for Murph, please, in the chat? Oh my gosh, you're not following Murph. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing if you're not following Murph? Go give Murph a follow right now, please and thank you. Heyo, what's going on, Murph? How was your stream? How were your battles? Happy Raid Thursday. Every Thursday in Season 26, we get twice the amount of battles. Who up? Cracking their hog right now. Me, you can't see below the desk. You have no idea what I'm doing down here. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say right now. You can't tell. You have no idea. Let me close the door real quick. I'm being a little loud. I'm being a little rude. Hang on. Sorry, the dog also wanted me to throw the ball, and I can't say no to the dog. Was 16 you in day 2 in Houston. Proud of you, my dude. Murph, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. This is my first stream since coming back. We're about to do a whole recap of Houston. And then we're going to get into our battles for the day. After the ads have cleared through, though. There isn't even a chair to worship. I know. I'm in a tight space to work with my stream until we move to the new place. So all you got is neck up right now. Nice, I'll get some food, sit back and listen, have a good stream, fam. Murph, thank you again. Tell me we got a shout out from Murph. Tell me someone shout him out. If he didn't, you know what? I got it. Shout out At Murph. Go give Murph a follow, please. And Raiders, if you're still here, welcome on in. We're so grateful to have you here. Like Murphy just said, I am one of your Houston 2026 regional top 12 placers, finalists. I don't know what you really call it. I tied for 9th with 4 other people. I made the top 12, and we're going to talk about that right now. We are about to dive into that. But what we're going to do once the ads are done, that's really not fair. So ads have just started. Hopefully they're quick. I do have it set to the lowest amount of ads possible. And if you are sticking around, please hit that refresh button. We would love for your views to count towards this stream. Let's see if I can edit the where is it? The chat real quick. Transform. Oh, transform. Edit transformation. I don't need all that extra space, you know? So I can cut that out to like right about there. And that'll allow me to make this just a little bit larger. A little larger than life, you know? Beautiful. Look at that beautiful chat. How much longer? How much longer until I can start yapping? I want to get to yapping. Come on now. New follower alert. Let's go. Thank you so much. Chad? I hope it's Chad. And if it's not, please correct me in the chat. Type it phonetically if that's incorrect. But Chad, thank you so much for being the newest follower on the stream. We are so grateful for our followers. Thank you for supporting the channel. Following really does more than I think that anyone's able to fully understand, that I can really ever articulate. I am so grateful. We have 10 seconds till the ads are back. Or we're back, everybody's back from ads. And we're going to talk about Houston. We'll talk about Houston real quick. How's that sound? 3, 2, 1. Let's get into it. All right. So, time for the Houston recap. Time for a big old yap session. I'm going to yap so long, we're not going to get through all our battles for tonight. And it's only 6:30. Cloud with a SH. Shoud. Shoud. Yeah, Shoud. Gotta be Shoud. I really hope that I got that right. Shoud. Nailed it. Let's go. I can read sometimes. Shoud. Thank you for being a first time chatter as well. Got the follow. Got the first time chatter. Correcting me on my grammar and my English because I'm illiterate. You're rocking. You got all the elements to be one of the best. So I appreciate having you here. All right. It's French. Ooh, are you from France? You currently reside in France? Or do you come from like French heritage? Would love to know more. Please tell me more in the chat while I'm yapping. Do not think that my yap session means I do not care about the answer to the question. I appreciate you being here. So, Houston. Geez, what even happened? What did even happen? How did I even get out to Houston? I'm drawing a full blank here. Wee, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the stream. I got on a plane, that's for sure. I know that for a fact. I'm blanking on the entire thing, though. Cindy's here! Cindy, guys, everybody in the chat right now, wish Cindy a happy birthday. It is her birthday today. It doesn't matter what time zone you're in, as long as you are in the western part of the world. It is Cindy's birthday still today. Wish her a happy birthday. Cindy, you are such a great friend. You're such a loyal follower. You're such a wonderful friend to all the people that you come across. Such a wonderful member of the community. You're a great mother. You're a great wife. You're a great person. I adore you. Thank you so much for being here so often. And I thank you for sharing your birthday with us. Happy birthday. I hope you're having a great day. So much love for you. So much love. Everyone wish Cindy a happy birthday. My real name is French, and I have a little bit in my genes. All right. Shout, that's awesome. Hell yeah. We love that. Okay, so I'm really trying to think, but I cannot think at all. I got on a plane, and it must have been fine because here I am. I landed, and we're good. We landed in Houston. Oh, that's what it was. Right, the mad dash to the challenge. How could I forget? So I board this plane early in the morning. My plane is scheduled to land at 12:15 Houston time. Now, if you've never been to a regional event, here's how it works. On Friday, it's registration, plus there is one challenge. A challenge is like a competition that you can sign up for, And they have them for all the different types of games. And you'll win prize wall tickets, and you'll even win some points, some other stuff. You'll win mostly prize wall tickets. Like, that's the big thing you're working on. Challenges, a cup, you'll win championship points and prize wall tickets. But yeah, so you want to compete. You want to get all that you can from it. It's on Friday. The challenge is a show 6 pick 3, much like the main event. There's also then a show 6 pick 3 challenge on Saturday, and on Sunday there's the cup. That's the one that gives out the significant amount of championship points along with your prize wall tickets. And there's little events throughout the weekend as well. There's blind threes, there's Master League, there's you name it. But the main ones you want to do is the challenge on Friday, the challenge on Saturday, and the cup on Sunday, all while participating in the main event. The main event's obviously the main portion, the most important. So, my flight's supposed to land at 12:15 p.m. The challenge starts at 1 p.m., right? So I have 45 minutes to get from the airport, first out of the airport, down to where the cars are, in a car, head on over to the center, get my wristband, get inside, and start the challenge. Fortunately, someone's username is Hot Mess in French, and I love it. That is actually hilarious. I don't know what that translates to, but I hope that they join the stream one day. My original plan was I'm going to hop in an Uber, right? I'll hop in an Uber. That's you? Oh, that's what it means? Hot Mess? That's amazing. I thought we were just ultimate French people. That's hilarious. That should be my name. I'm also a hot mess. Original plan was to jump in an Uber, head on over there, get it done, because it's about a 20-minute drive from the airport to the convention center. However, I've got friends that are coming to this event that I've convinced to come to the event. One of them, you might know him. He's in the chat right now. It's Dink. Dink also lives in Texas. Not going to dox him where he lives, but he decided to drive on out to Houston for this event. I was able to convince him to go. I told him, you gotta be there. He wasn't gonna be there. He had a basketball game that his wife got him for, I believe, Valentine's Day tickets to that game, and he's a big fan of this team. Turns out the tickets he had were for the weekend prior. So now his weekend was free. He got to do a mad scramble to make it work, and guess what? He was in. He registered. He's coming to the event. Let's go. And on top of that, he said he was going to pick me up from the airport. That he's going to drive me there. We go to an Uber. We're going to just book it to the event. We're going to make it there for the challenge. Wonderful. So we're meeting two very important people there. Will Cujo and someone else who's in the chat right now. You probably know him more commonly as Cackerhead. I know him as Esteban now. And Isari is his new username. They made him change it for the event. He's also one of your Houston top 12. There he is, Will Cujo. That's right, we're meeting them there for the challenge. So, Dink is there. He's ready. He is ready to pick me up. Can we get a shout for Will Cujo, by the way? What an amazing, amazing friend, amazing battler, amazing streamer. My plane actually lands at 11:45. Hold on. I gotta shout out Will. There he is, Will Cujo. My plane lands at 11:45 instead of 12:15. I'm a half hour early. Let's go. We're gonna make this, right? You would think we're gonna make this. However, here comes 12:40, and we're just now getting to the gate. There was a plane in our gate, and we could do nothing. I sat on the tarmac for almost an hour. We're 30 minutes early, but I wasted all by sitting on the runway. So I get out this plane and I'm trying to rush through. I'm like, please let me through. Like, I gotta go. I'm jumping in front of lines. I'm usually a big fan of, like, I'm a big believer of you deboard the plane front to back, everyone take their turn. However, there are circumstances that supersede that. This is one of them. Everyone get the fuck out of my way. I have a challenge to make. I'm already signed up. I'm already registered. My team is submitted. I gotta go, right? We gotta get out there. So I'm finally off this plane. We have like 15 minutes until the challenge starts, and love. And We're 20 minutes away still. I still gotta get out of this airport. It is a fucking maze. The IAH George W. Bush Airport. No surprise there. Shout out Bush. Inside jobs. He is not I'm not a big fan of his work with planes. All right, just gonna leave that out there. So I'm running through this airport fast as I can. I'm ducking and weaving. I'm bobbing. I'm moving all around. I make it outside. They made Dink do a lap around. So Dink comes back. He's at a different pickup spot. I gotta go find him. I get in the car. Thank you, Shout. I finally get in the car, and it's like 5 till, and we're still 20 minutes away plus. But here we go. We're booking it. We're getting out. We're driving on down. We get to the convention center. There's parking right outside the convention center. It's $35. Who cares? We gotta go. We gotta get inside. We paid for this, right? We run inside. We get our wristbands. We're in there. We're trying to find what the tables are. We get to the tables, and it's now like 1:30 at this point. By the time everything's said and done, parking, wristbands, everything, and we've only missed the first battle. It just took extremely long, the first round. So we only missed the first battle. They haven't even started round 2 yet. I'll take a first round loss, right? I ended up, I think, going 3-3. What did we do? It was a 6 Swiss or was it a 5 Swiss? Did I get 3-2? I don't remember. I really don't remember. But one of I think it was 3-3 or 3-2. And one of those losses was the first round loss due to the fact that I just wasn't there. Still got prize wall tickets. Still got to meet incredible people. 3-2. Thank you. So I 3-2'd. So I only lost really one battle because the other battle I lost was just because I wasn't there yet. But let's go. Nice little 3-2. Didn't top cut. Didn't expect to top cut because I missed the first battle. Doesn't matter because now amongst my friends we got Dink. We got Isari. We got Will Cujo. We got Mr. Bug. I don't think he's here right now. We got to meet Mr. Bug. Lord Drew, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. My lord. So happy to have you here. Hello, hello. We're doing a Houston recap. Shout out for Lord Drew. Go give Lord Drew a follow. So yeah, now we get to kind of I get to show them around, let them see what the event's about. Yeah, man, it's so exciting. It was so exciting. We check out the vendors and the scavenger hunts and get our play mats, all the good things, all the fun stuff that happens at a regional for day one. Registered, got to participate, phenomenal, right? That night we go out to dinner. We were supposed to go. I found this one place. Rewind real quick. We go to check into the hotel, right? Now, for those that don't know, the before story, little flashback. I wasn't going to go to Houston. I was not going to go to Houston, and I ended up placing 9th instead. I was not going to go to Houston for multiple reasons. One of them being, I've got the swords dance we executed in the venue. Well, hold on. I can't let them know all the things we did in private, Dink. I miss you. So, I wasn't going to go to Houston because I only had my return flight booked. Outgoing flights left me with the only option of landing at 12:15, which I felt like I was going to rush, which I did, and we saw how that went. And then on top of that, hotels were just out the wazoo expensive. Like the average price for 3 nights, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, in Houston was like $1,300 because that same weekend there was a baseball game and a concert and like the rodeo of all rodeo championships of the year, plus the Pokemon event, $1,300 for the weekend. I said, I can't do that. And then Will Cujo was like, hey man, are we going? And I was like, I don't know. Are you going? Like, if you're going, that makes it a little bit better. Maybe I could find something a little bit cheaper. And then I found one that was like a 30-minute public transportation away. And I was like, okay, maybe we could do that. And that's kind of cheaper. It was like $800. I was like, all right, then split that. It's like $400. So leaned on that one. Then he was like, hey, I don't think I could go. I can get the days off. I can't request them off. I was like, all right, well, if you can't go, I'm not going. I'll just change my flight, my returning flight to another event, and I'll just miss this one. Right? Then the next day he's like, hey, man, I miraculously got the days off. And I was like, okay, well, now I have to wait for my schedule to come out because I already missed the window to request days off. And then my schedule comes out the following day, and I have that weekend off too. Now, I normally have the weekend off, but that's not always the case, so I can't just bank shit like that. So, he had the weekend off, and I had the weekend off, and... Did we freeze? No. Okay, good. Sorry, my laptop froze, and it looked like we had just stopped completely. So he had the weekend off, I had the weekend off finally. I looked at the flight. The flight was still cheap. He can get a cheap flight. I was like, okay, we're doing this. We're doing this now. And I go and check the hotels one more time to book it. And I find one that's about an 18-minute walk from the venue for like, gosh, what was it? Like $500? I think? $600? Something like that. I think it was like 6 and change. In fact, I'm going to look right now because I don't want anyone being like, oh, hold on. Wasn't that? Where was it? Where did I say it? There it is. There's the hotel. But what was the price, Gregory? Gregory, what was the price? I'm looking. There it is. $669. Nice. So $670 for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Almost, actually, yeah, just about half of what all the other hotels were at 4 stars, breakfast included. We love it, right? So now we're booked on that hotel. Dink's coming out. The next day, I convince Cackerhead to go. I stay on VC with him after the stream. I show him all the steps on how to register. Traveling in a substantive, what the fuck, like, oh my gosh, it's crazy, Arms. It's crazy. Give me your discounts is more like it. Fuck the Arms. Give me your discounts. Insane. But yeah. Normally it's not like this, actually. I gotta take that back. Normally it's not like this. Like for next weekend for Orlando, I think my round trip ticket was about $70 round trip. And my hotel for check-in Friday, check-out Sunday is $150. And it's like a 10 to 15 minute walking distance from the venue. So this one was just expensive because of the rodeo shit and all the other stuff going on. But yeah, found a hotel just under $700, about half the price of all the other hotels, walking distance, quality place. Like I said, 4 stars, breakfast included. Will Cujo's going, I'm going, Dink's going. I stay on VC. I make sure Cackerhead signs up. I'm sorry, Isari signs up. He's going. We're in. We're in. The boys are going to Houston. Right? So now we get to this hotel. And we go to check in. And now that Dink has joined along with the group, Dink's going to stay there. He brought an air mattress with him. We're going to just, because we had a 2-bedroom room, right? Just 2 queens. We're going to move a little bit of furniture around, put the air mattress down. The 3 of us are going to stay in one room. I go to check in. They're like, how many keys do you want? I said 3. They said, okay, the names you would put on the room. And I was like, yeah, because they're like, the keys kind of desensitize pretty easily. Let's put their names on the room. That way, in case they get locked out and you're not around, they're clear to get new keys to the room. I said, perfect. So I let her know the names. She's like, oh, there's 3 of you. We're probably going to have to charge you extra. Your reservation is only technically for 2. And for every person beyond that, we got to charge an extra $15 a day. That covers the breakfast cost. I was like, oh, okay. Well, Dink had expressed that he probably wasn't going to stay for even Saturday night. Like he was going to do Saturday, and if he didn't day 2, he's just going to go home. And so I was like, he's not really staying the whole time. He's just staying the one night. She's like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to comp the breakfast thing. Even if he stays all 3 days, you're good. I was like, oh, wow, thank you so much. That's very nice of you. She went, actually, I'll do you one better. How about we upgrade you to a suite? That way, it's got 2 beds and a pull-out couch, and everyone gets their own bed. I'm like, lady, you're an angel, right? Whole weekend's going phenomenal so far. I know that we were sitting on the runway for an extra, hour, but the whole weekend is going phenomenal so far. Upgraded room, 3-2 in the cup. We only missed the first battle. All the, my friends are here. We're having a great time. We're loving it. We get in the room, we put our stuff down. We're like, let's go get some dinner. I find this place. It says it's only $2 signs out of $5 signs, but it's my fault for not actually checking the menu. So by the time we get there, we find out it's more like $4 signs out of $5 signs. The average price of a plate is $80. So now Mr. Bug's like, well, why don't we go to this cafe that's attached to my hotel? It's called Table 7. We head on over there. It's this little hole-in-the-wall nothing place. The meals were like $10 to $20 at most. More food than I could even eat. And let me tell you something. I'm a real eater. All right? The real ones know what that means. But I love to eat, and I can eat a lot. Table 7 was goated, right? Everyone got something different. One person got Hispanic food. I got this big old fucking hunk of meat. Will Cujo got salmon. A real shout. Listen, I'm telling you, I don't shy away about it either. I'm passionate about two things: Pokemon Go and eating. Dead ass on God. Anyway, so Will got salmon. I got meat. I think it was beef of some kind. Someone got Hispanic food. Isari got a burger. Holy shit, it was delicious. The whole thing was delicious. House of Gaming, welcome to the stream. It was an amazing trip. We haven't gotten to the good shit, Rhett. We haven't gotten to the good shit. Man's gotta eat. Man's gotta eat. And I don't stop till the jaw falls off. So, wonderful place to eat. Had a great time. Delicious food. Went back to the hotel. Went to bed because the next day's the main event. Right? I find out that Isari and myself are in the same. Don't break the jaw. I'll break the jaw. I do it for my love. Because I want to do it. We find out that everyone's in different. I'm locking in. No lockjaw. I'm locking in. We find out everyone's in different groups except for me and Isari. We're in the same group. But the only way the two of us would battle each other is if we found each other in the winners' finals. That's it. Winners' finals, or I guess the losers' finals, really. But the winners' finals is the true, clear path. The only way we verse each other. We're on opposite sides of the bracket. That's a problem for later. So, we get there, and it's a smaller regional, but there's just enough people that they needed the second round of bracket, and a significant amount of us got buys onto round 2. Myself included. Basically, anyone that's been to a regional event at all, and it says any amount of points, they got to buy to round 2. So, I'm in round 2. I'm waiting for round 2 to start for my bracket. And I'm up against Telegraph Train. And that's a little odd to me, because the day before I left for the trip, right, that Thursday, when I streamed, or strummed, or streamed, if you will, he was in my chat. And I was like, Telegraph Train, am I going to see you tomorrow at the regional event? And he was like, no, it's not going to happen. Couldn't make it. Whatever the reason was. Heartbroken, but we'll see Telegraph Train again real soon. So I sit down and I go, something ain't right here. Something ain't right. So I messaged him. I go, listen, are you not here or are you fucking with me? Right? Because if this was just like to get in my head, first of all, you had like a 1 in 180 shot. 2, well played, sir. Finally gets back to me. He's like, no, I'm not there. I submitted a team and I registered. I just couldn't make it out there. So I essentially get 2 buys, right? A real buy, and I win the Telegraph Train matchup. Third round, I'm up against, oh my gosh, what was his name? I think it was like ING. How do I find this? How do I find this real quick? Draco, challenge. Bracket, Houston, 2026 Pokemon Go. Okay. Here it is. Will find me. This is day 2. How do I see day 1? Full bracket? Full bracket. Where is log, maybe? Yeah, I sure did move over to 10, and I took them all. I took every one of them. Standings. Group stage. Oh, group stage. No? Standings? Group A? Here we are. Okay, fine. Go League. Go. Just find Greg. I was the only Greg there. So, round 3, I'm against ING Beto N92. Yes, I found it. Thank you, Dark Quirk. ING Beto N92. And these battles were close. That trainer was good. Great battle. In fact, they went on to the losers bracket. And let's see. Did they go into this losers bracket? Masked Asian, Telegraph Trained, Fern. This is where Fern is. And then they won in the losers bracket against Bletnir, and then lost to Ashton Ash for their second elimination. Great battler, great battles. Wonderful, wonderful person. They were very close battles, but now we're moving on. Moving on to the Group D winners semifinals. And I'm waiting for my table to be announced. I'm just kind of putzing around. I'm like, okay, any minute now I'll announce. And it says, instead of a table number over my name, it says Q. And I go, that's odd. I've done a lot of these. I've never seen it say Q before. And then it hit me. I'm about to be on stream for the very first time. I'm jumping up and down like a child that found out tomorrow was Christmas. I am so ecstatic. I am most comfortable in front of a camera and on stage. I like it here, right? I've wanted to be on stream. I've wanted to make that something that I can bring back to you guys here on our stream, that I can bring to our Discord server, which, by the way, ! Discord. If you're not already part of the Go Lounge, go join it right now. And I was excited. It's finally happening. So they come and find me. They're like, hey, we got to get you prepped for a bunch of stuff. Like, this is your first time on stream. They take me in the back. They ask me, what do I want to be called, right? So the first thing is like, okay, what do you want them to call you on stream? And I was like, just call me GoLeagueGregg. And he gives me this look, and he's like, you want them to say the full name every time? And I was like, I mean, they could call me Greg at one point, but I'd like to put a little respect to the name. Maybe like start with the GoLeagueGreggs and then get a little more casual. But yeah, I want to hear the full username at least once. And he's like, all right, fair. And then, they asked me a couple other questions of how I want to be addressed and what this, that, and the other. And go in the back, and they're like, okay, have you ever had pictures taken? No, let's take your pictures. That was really cool. Just a little respect in the GLG, right? And they had me take pictures. First, it was like a cross-armed, right? Kingler on the shoulder. Obviously, Kingler on the shoulder. Favorite Pokemon. He's going everywhere. I fucking love this guy. Love this crab. And then they're like, okay, do you want to grab like some props or something? Like a couple plushies, something like that? I look at this man. I go, I got the only one I need right here. Sitting on the shoulder. And he goes, say less. So he's like, okay, why don't you go ahead, keep the arms crossed, and then just point. I'm a little low down here. I keep the arms crossed and then just point at the Kingler. And I point, he takes a second picture, and then he goes, okay, great, we're all done. And it was just 2 pictures. And I'm the person that I'm like, we should probably take at least 40 pictures and then pick out the best one, and then probably then redo that one anyway. I'm like, okay, cool, 2 pictures and we're done. Great. I sit down. I'm obviously a little nervous. They show me how it works. So there's 2 sets of phones, right? There's the set that's on stage and there's the set that's about to be on stage, and they just kind of swap back and forth. So you pre-log in. They're already dialed in with stuff that's being wired in and stuff that's wireless for each side of the stage. They're very specific where those phones go. Log in, team check in advance, make sure it's all good. Great. I sit down to a person. His name is Xmot. That's what his username is. And we're just chatting. First of all, the nicest guy. The absolute nicest guy. I'm going to see. We're going to go for a shout out. Maybe we'll get one. I don't know if he streams at all. Shout out at Xmot 11. No. Well, if you see him out there, this is his username. Very nice person. Very nice person. Anyway, turns out, he's talking, he said, turns out he was a TCG player for, I think he said 3 years. But he did a little Go on the side, and his teammates were like, listen, you're really good at Go. You should focus more on that. Not any slander to his TCG game, but he's just good at Go. Some people got to Go, and then they got to go, you know? So here he is. Obviously, he's good. He beat Ashton Ash in round 3 to verse me in the finals, right? Oh my gosh, this guy was on a fucking run. So first of all, he got a bye in the first round as well. The second round, he played against the masked Asian and won in a 2-1. In round 3, he 2-0'd Ashton Ash and then came on to play me in the semifinals. Yeah, dude knows what he's doing in Go. Dude can play in Pokemon Go for sure. I think he found his better game. Wild. I didn't even look at this bracket till right now. That's insane. So here we are. We're sitting next to each other, and I'm also getting like a little nervous, right? I'm like, those pictures are probably forever. So I go back over to the camera guy. I'm like, listen, I don't want to be that guy, but we got a few minutes. Can I see the photos that you took? Just to make sure they came out all right. Like, you know, not this you're bad at your job. I'm just kind of bad at looking good. If you can do me a solid here. He's like, yeah, absolutely. And he pulls up the second photo, right, of me pointing Kingler. He's like, here, I haven't edited anything at all yet. And he shows it to me, and it's probably the best photo anyone's ever taken of me. And I went, all right, I'm good. Just go with that one. I'm good with that one. He's like, okay, perfect. So now we're waiting around, we're just chit-chatting, and it's time for the battle. They bring us on stage, and I'm nervous, but I'm excited, and it's time to battle. And here's what we're going to do. As we're going through the story, we're going to go over the battles as they happened in order. Where is it? Boom. That's right, we're going over the battles. All right, I don't know what the volume is on this, so let's see. Oh, we got disconnected. There we go.
Welcome back, Trainer City 2026 Houston Regional Championships. We have 2 trainers about to take the stage that are new faces. I cannot wait to get into these battles. What do you think of my segment, Alex? Did you like that? Can you lift it? What do you say?
Yes, we can.
All right. Well said. Alex, I'm really excited to get into this. I think that we have some other good segments planned for the weekend, so make sure to stay tuned for all of those. But we're setting the stage for a very interesting battle. We've seen a lot of Pokemon that I didn't expect. For example, Galarian Weezing really stands out to me. Are there any Pokemon that you're kind of surprised by so far?
Yeah, I would say the lack of any Scizor and Kanto Marowak. Right? We talked about it, that they may not be as common
as
last time. Yeah. But just to see none is kind of crazy to me.
What's standing out to me is that, and you actually mentioned this backstage,
a lot
of teams
are
this
whole
lacking
time?
a direct answer to Quagsire because there is no grass coverage.
Right.
So I think that that's going to be a recurring theme, and finding creative ways to get around Quagsire is going to be a defining part of this meta. Do you use a dragon type like a Guzzlord or an Altaria, or do you use another neutral matchup? Maybe a normal type Pokemon like Licky Licky. You have to know those matchups inside and out, because I think Quagsire is going to be all over Houston this weekend.
Yeah, I agree, and I think a lot of people are playing Wigglytuff as well.
Yeah.
I think it is the #1 most used Pokemon this weekend, so navigating those two is kind of really tough because they cover each other so well, right? Fairy and water and ground, very good coverage. But here we actually see Xmot on your left versus GoLeagueGregg on the right. Is there anything interesting that you see on these teams, Speedy?
Well, that's a great question, but let's take a look first at GoLeagueGregg's team. Gotta mention the Clefable, right? Clefable is such a core breaker. Can run Meteor Mash, Moonblast, Psychic. It's got a whole litany of charge attacks, but it looks like this particular Clefable will be running Meteor Mash and Moonblast with Fairy Wind as a fast attack. And whenever I see an Annihilape, I gotta ask the question, is it counter or is it low kick?
Yeah, I think in this situation specifically, it is low kick. So those Rage Fists and close combats are going to be very, very quick to charge and hitting incredibly hard.
I do think that does change the gameplay and the pacing quite a bit for the Annihilape. Will we see it here in this first matchup? There are a couple targets on the opposing trainer's team. I think mainly that Empoleon is what they're looking out for, but neutrally, I mean, I don't think the Annihilape is that bad into Fortress either.
Yeah, I think it does really well into the steel typings, but I think because of the Galarian Corsola and the Wigglytuff, it's going to be really tough to try to bring that Annihilape in.
Good.
However,
Okay,
we see another Pokemon that's not as commonly seen, but maybe picking up in some usage in that Furret, because that Furret looks really neutral into every single Pokemon on Xmot's team.
Oh, good point. A lot of people are getting...
Pause that for a second. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Mario So Real just subscribed at tier 1. Oh my goodness. Mario, thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you for doing that. Mario, welcome on in. I cannot believe you just subscribed. I don't know how to say thank you to a subscription. I don't know how to properly say thank you to a subscription. That is insane. Thank you so much for doing that. Seriously, Mario, thank you. We're already beyond grateful when it comes to except for the smooch. Oh, count me the fuck in. We're already so grateful when it comes to just followers in general. But you mean to tell me that you then subscribed, you spent real money on this stream, Mario? That is insane to me. Dude, thank you so much for doing that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being an amazing friend. So happy to have you here. Shout out to Mario. Mario also streams. Please go give Mario a follow. Come on, type it faster. Shout out at Mario. And Mario's so real. Mario did phenomenal in the Seattle Regional, too. I'm a big Mario fan. I'm a big Mario fan. All right, let's get back to it.
Forgetting about the normal type Pokemon, maybe you'll see the Licky Licky occasionally. Furret is a Pokemon that was really successful
right
in
here.
seasons past.
So right here. Right here, here's what happened. Is they told me when we sat down, we went over the rules, right? We went over the rules. And everything, and I was like, okay, they said we had extra time because they did like a little bit of a segment prior to us actually starting our battles. Like there was that trailer, or the segment, the Can You Lift It thing that Speedy did. And so we were just kind of sitting there, we're like, can we exchange team sheets? And the ref was like, you should probably wait until like we're about a minute out, like just to make it accurate. And I went, okay, sure, you're in charge, you got it. I was like, all right, kind of slow though. I'm a little slow. I'd really like to get this written fast. And they're like, nope, blank sheet. You can start when we switch sheets. Blank sheet of paper. You can start when we trade team sheets, and you'll be fine. And I went, okay. So we trade team sheets. I'm just drawing out my boxes real quick. I just get done writing in my stuff. 'Cause like I said, I start from a completely blank piece of paper. And this moment right here, the ref goes, you have 30 seconds to lock in the team. And that's when I went, what? And there's a screenshot someone got of me. I haven't been able to grab it just yet. There's a screenshot somewhere in here of me just giving the absolutely dirtiest look in that direction. And that's because I was told I have plenty of time, and now I can't draw anything, and I'm like, oh God, I need my boxes to really like look at this. I'm a very visual person. So what do? I just lock in the team that I used last, and I'm like, fuck it, we'll figure it out one way or another. I look at my team that I had from the last round, I look at his team, I go, I don't see any like super big problems. We're just locking in what we have, and I will draw my boxes during this match, and if I lose, I'll worry about doing the reverse sweep, but I gotta lock in apparently, so it's time to go. So that's what this moment was right here.
The Sucker Punch and then typing hard walls, ghost types like Jellicent, like Galarian Corsola, so it could make an appearance here for sure. Alex, I gotta be honest, whenever I see Unova Stunfisk, I think of you. Because in the grassroots draft formats we used to play in, you played a lot.
Who wants you, boy? Keep on watching.
Yeah, and I think it's a great pick. Unfortunately, in this meta, because of all the Quagsire, it's gonna be really tough to kind of navigate through some of those tougher matchups. Especially because Xmot's Quagsire looks incredibly safe into GoLeagueGregg's team. Other than maybe the Altaria and the Trailblaze from the Furret, it's going to be really tough for GoLeagueGregg to actually find an answer. But our teams are locked in and we're ready to go.
Game number one, Xmot.
So my team here.
Your screen, GoLeagueGregg on the.
My team is Empoleon, Furret, Annihilate. And he's got
Galarian Corsola leading into Empoleon.
Yeah, and this is a pretty neutral matchup. You're going to see
Corsola,
the Hydro Cannon getting thrown here.
Quagsire, Wigglytuff, right? So obviously, I'm worried about the Quagsire, the Wigglytuff in the back.
A lot of trainers forget about Galarian Corsola and just how bulky it is. This is also a best buddy Galarian Corsola to swap out into Furret. Very interesting call because your Furret is your hardest answer to the Galarian Corsola. Maybe go.
So my idea here is that I knew Wigglytuff was on the team.
Yeah, that Wigglytuff is
I
really
had
good
Annihilate
because of
and
Sucker Punch damage being resisted
Altaria
into that fairy typing of Wigglytuff, and the Swift.
I was hoping
also
to
neutral.
Going to go for some charm
bait
damage.
out the
Wigglytuff builds
Wigglytuff.
up to the Icy Wind, maintaining
Which
good
I did.
discipline on the turn cycles there, throwing 3 charms.
If I can get
but
Wigglytuff
GoLeagueGregg
out,
should
it
fire
opens
off
up for
another
Annihilate
Swift here before any
just like
debuffs,
crazy.
which is actually pretty good.
Yeah, and I think Xmot is happy to concede that damage because he understands that GoLeagueGregg's Empoleon is in the back and is just waiting to farm down the Wigglytuff.
This might not KO, and I think GoLeagueGregg believes in his Furret. Actually, it does pick up the KO, and that gamble did not pay off there for the trainer on the right. But he is able to bring the Empoleon into
in
the
that moment, I
Wigglytuff
really
and
wasn't
get a
trying
solid
to
farm down.
get Furret
this is gonna
to
do
hold on. I was okay sacrificing Furret. How do I make this go away? Make this little bar go away. Is there a way to do that? Settings. Speed. Follow Pokemon Go. No. Does this help? No, it doesn't help. Oh well. They asked, good bait out, thank you. I appreciate that. I wasn't aiming to save Furret. I was just aiming to get the extra energy on Empoleon's farm up. I knew that there was nothing that Wigglytuff was going to throw at Furret that was really going to matter, so I had this extra energy on Empoleon going into who knows what they have left, right? I know that they have Galarian Corsola, and again, I need to get that away from Annihilate too, on top of the fact that they could have anything else back there. The Quagsire, the Altaria, the... what else
damage,
back
it is
here?
resisted, but getting...
It's going to be tough,
I did
right?
forward,
If
hold
you
on.
bring in the Annihilate here, you're going to take on
Empoleon is really nice, and we see a combo play
Go backwards.
immediately,
Sorry.
throwing the Nightshade.
I accidentally jumped
Empoleon
forward.
into the Wigglytuff and get a solid farm down.
Yeah, and this is going to do some nice damage.
The
It is
fortress,
resisted, but
right?
off any
Anything
type
else
of
can be
damage
back
into that
here.
Empoleon is
I want
really
all the
nice.
energy I
And we
can
see a
have.
combo play
This was
immediately,
exactly what I
throwing
wanted
the
to see.
Nightshade into that Empoleon.
Corsola
Big
comes
shield,
back
you have
out,
to.
You have to,
Wiggly's
right? 'Cause
down,
this
and
GoLeagueGregg
now
Pokemon
it doesn't
is
matter
the
what they have
Annihilate right now.
back
Corsola
there.
is just way too healthy.
Like my
For those
worst
matchups, you
problem
have to
is
get some value out of your
Altaria,
steal
and I
wild
don't
type.
think they brought
The Hydro
Altaria.
Cannon will command the shield, which is good
In
news.
fact, I'm
Yeah,
feeling
and
pretty
Xmot,
good
I
that
think,
they
is in a
don't
really
have
good position
Altaria.
here because you can
given
kind
the
of
fact
just
that they
start
brought
to
in,
throw some damage
Corsola
into this Empoleon, and now you're forced to shield again as
Because if they
GoLeagueGregg,
did have
unless you want to let
Altaria,
it go.
although
It's
it
gonna
is
be
a tough
right?
matchup
If
for
you bring in the
Annihilate,
here,
they would
you're
have
gonna
probably
take a
saved
lot
the
of Astonish damage. Down goes
Corsola for
Empoleon.
me.
The final
So here comes
Pokemon
out
for
Annihilate,
GoLeagueGregg
and yeah,
is the
I got some
Annihilate,
work ahead
and
of me.
those low kicks
I
are
gotta get
basically
these
doing nothing
Rage
to the
Fists out.
Ghost-type Galarian Corsola.
Now,
Yeah,
I
and
think he's
think
going to
even
block
here,
this.
you could invest
He
his shield if
chooses
you really
not
wanted
to,
but actually letting it
which
go,
is totally
letting
in my
the
favor
Quagsire
because
be the Pokemon of choice
Annihilate
in the end
can
game
beat
to try to
Shadow
take down this
Quagsire.
It's
I
not
learned
quite
that
in range of
very
an
well
Aqua
this
Tail,
past
but I think
weekend.
after the
That
Mudshots, it might be.
Annihilate
At what
beats
point do you
Shadow
try to catch here
Quagsire
as
in
Xmot,
the
right? Do you
ones
reach for
and the
that Wigglytuff?
twos
Because he did
and
allow
the
Galarian
zeros.
Corsola to faint, which means his switch
All
timer
of them.
is fresh and
He
ready
wins
to
in
go.
all of them.
Shooting up this Rage Fist means that the next
Everything
Rage
even.
Fist will
All
hit even
even
harder.
shields, Annihilate
We'll
wins.
see what he decides to do.
Right,
So
it
I'm
might
loving
even
this.
be a close combat because that close
I
combat
know
is
I can
gonna
take
do
one.
twice as much
I know I
damage
can take a
as
second
the
one.
Rage
I
Fist.
know I'm not going to
Here
get
comes
much
the
shot
Aqua Tail.
down,
It's
and I
not
know
enough
that
to
I'm
knock out.
able to
Here we actually
get
see
to the
another
next move.
Aqua Tail getting thrown here. Obviously, you have to shield
from
here.
here.
Now,
Mr.
it comes
Bug,
down to,
what's
do
going on,
you
Mr.
go
Bug? Welcome to the
for the
stream.
close combo, or do you go for the Rage Fist?
But here's the problem, right? If you throw the close combat as Greg and the Wigglytuff comes out, it's going to instantly KO you
I
with
need the
charm.
Rage Fist.
So we do see the third, I believe, Rage
Actually,
Fist
no, I don't know
of
if I
this
need the Rage
sequence from
Fist.
GoLeagueGregg, but he's shaking
I
his
probably
head.
could've
He doesn't
gone
think
for
it's
the close
enough to pick up
combat.
the KO, and it's not.
Going Rage
Quagsire
Fist was a
hangs
little
on
riskier than it
all
needed
the
to
time.
be.
Gosh.
Annihilate is the
Close
last
combat should have
chance here.
finished up there, but you know what? Oh, that's right.
Oh
Wigglytuff
my
was still in.
gosh, what an incredible battle.
Rewind it.
Look at
That's
that
why I went for the
Annihilate.
Rage Fist. I thought
We
Wigglytuff was
talked
dead
about
here.
it right
The
before
reason I
battle.
went
It's
for the
not a
Rage Fist
Pokemon
is because
that has an
I
incredible
knew I needed
matchup into
to
Xmot's
not
team, and you saw
throw
Wigglytuff,
the
you saw Quagsire, and
close
you saw the
combat.
Corsola.
One
Where does
charm
Annihilate
would have
even
killed
go
me
into
before I had
that?
any
It
chance
went
to take down the
into
Wigglytuff.
Quagsire.
Yeah, I mean,
If I had
can't
double
help but
dropped my
feel that
defense.
Xmot kind of let that one slip through his hands a little bit there. Maybe the earlier shield. It's hard to say exactly where things went wrong, but like you said, the Annihilate didn't have any play on paper. Had a lot of disadvantageous matchups. Two of the hardest counters in the entire meta were on this same trio, and it still was able to come in there and pick up the win. So incredibly well done by GoLeagueGregg.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of my
Sure
favorite
was, though,
things
every
to
time they
happen
pick up the
is
win.
in a battle where you feel like, oh, there's no way out, there's no way out. And then GoLeagueGregg just maneuvering and finding the win condition and able to advance himself into the next game with a win instead of a loss.
Exactly. That Astonish damage was punishing, but once
Thank you,
Galarian Corsola
Superboy.
was out of the way and the
They're gonna win the next
Wigglytuff was
one, though.
weak, the Annihilate did the rest. Low kick comes in here. That damage applies on
Still
the
gotta win
2-turn
the next
fast
one.
attack before the 3-turn charm,
Right.
which means that it was able to connect, and that was every ounce of damage that GoLeagueGregg needed to pick up the KO. Going
Yep.
to battle number 2, What do you expect?
Well, I would say something like the Clefable could make a lot of sense on GoLeagueGregg's team to be able to do some neutral damage into a lot of Xmod's team. The only thing is the Xmod has 2 steel types, so maybe...
So now I'm able to actually sit down and draw my boxes and figure out what would be good in this team. So everything the announcers are saying, the casters are saying about, you know, what my Pokemon would be good into his, I can now see for myself.
Maybe you have to avoid that, but that's where the Annihilate comes in, so maybe you just pair those 2 together. Because you have the Meteor Mash to be able to hit that Wigglytuff that we saw
the tank tops.
Do some damage in game number 1. But here, we're actually jumping into game number 2. We have our leads. Here is that Clefable versus the Glaring Corsola.
Oh my goodness, yeah, very neutral matchup, but I do think that GoLeagueGregg is happy to see the Glaring Corsola here in the lead as opposed to against his Annihilate or his Empoleon in the back. Gonna go for the Meteor Mash here on proper timing.
But that was
our
farming like nobody's
Meteor Mash
business.
is one of my favorite moves because it does so much damage and not a lot of Pokemon can get it. And it does basically just as much as that Hydro Cannon did in game 1.
Correct, yeah. Looks like a Nightshade will come through here. Both trainers kind of eyeballing the energy. This is not a matchup I'm super familiar with, but I do think they are feeling their way through it. That Nightshade did not do enough to pick up the KO, and I think that the Meteor Mash will not do enough either. So it's really going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, and I think you kind of have to, neuter this Clefable with that Corsola because it is such an impressive, Clefable is such an impressive Pokemon into that backline with that Altaria back there. So you really want to avoid that type.
Yes. GoLeagueGregg wants control of switch advantage.
I know that guy.
Uses his first shield of the battle, looks for the Fairy Wind down, and he is able to get it off of just 2 Fairy Winds because he's able to get the 3rd Fairy Wind off of the double Astonishes that we saw Xmod execute. Now, what does he come in with?
Yeah, and what do you do if you're GoLeagueGregg? Do you just go for the Meteor Mash? He does, I believe.
Okay. My idea here for going to the Meteor Mash was I thought Empoleon was coming next. I saw the water, and I just assumed I don't have time to process the second typing and what's going to happen. Just throw something. Just get the energy off while you can, because I don't think that I would be able to get my Charge Attack out if I took too long and it was Empoleon. So just throw something. Better get damage out than nothing at all.
Could have gotten to the
what about active jocks?
But it's so hard because the Empoleon could have come in there and knocked you out. So you kind of just have to get the damage off as soon as you can. But here we're going to see Quagsire get a lot of energy.
Yeah, that's a lot of energy. Meteor Mash being resisted by the Quagsire. But the Annihilate comes in. This is actually great news for the Annihilate. It gets a neutral target here. Not that hard road that it had to fight through in game number 1. Aqua Tail will connect. We saw how much damage this did in game number 1. Takes about, I'd say, 35% or so. Oh, but a catch of the Rage
Good
Fist.
catch.
Really, really nice catch on the Altaria. This is still neutral damage, but Altaria is a lot bulkier than that Shadow Quagsire.
At this point, GoLeagueGregg can bring in the Empoleon here. He does have the steel typing, but remember,
at this moment, I know
the
that
which
it's
will
all on
pile on a
Annihilate.
ton of
I have to
damage.
use Empoleon to get some of these shields out. I got to use Empoleon to do some damage to this Altaria.
Letting it go. Xmod understands the Altaria.
I'm taking no shields are being used on Empoleon. I need to put all my cards and all my eggs in the basket that is
nice neutral damage, about 50% of what Empoleon has left.
I wonder if we envision our win conditions here. Do you think that Xmod allows this next drill peck through?
Why do you bring 2 counters to that game? You'll see why. It's because Ape was cooking.
Is that the win con?
I kind of like that. I kind of like that. But actually, we actually see a shield come up here. Maybe going for the one shot down anyway. But you will have to shield here. Actually,
this is also huge for me.
Charge attack priority.
He threw on CMP and I win CMP.
Because it's really tough to get through the rest of this Empoleon otherwise.
Exactly. I do believe that was a charge attack priority.
So not only do I get my Hydro Cannon out and I get a shield from him, but I get to waste a whole turn's worth of energy.
Want to do that. Sometimes you get the instant swap. Sometimes you get the 1-turn swap. I think Xmod thought that was a 1-turn switch, but it was instantaneous.
I win CMP. Now he has no shields, and this will definitely take out. If he threw one before, I would have been in a much tougher spot.
Too low to try to come back into this game, and it's going to be really tough. You got to get to 2 moves, and unfortunately, that shield
he needs 2 to get there, and he's just not going to get it.
It's going to come back to bite Xmod here.
Yeah, exactly. That shield in the back pocket right? It's not even going to get used here as GoLeagueGregg
2-0.
is able to weather
My first time on
tough,
stream.
tough matchup in game number 1, and then game number 2 tie things up nicely with a bow. That's your winner semis for Group D.
That was really, really well played by GoLeagueGregg. I think the Annihilate was probably the MVP of the show, or the star of the show there, because we don't really see it that often, but it came into both games.
That's right, new emote.
Both games in the end.
I mean, Annihilate is totally changed when it is running the low kick because it paces so much more quickly. You're not getting that hard-hitting counter damage, so it's harder to farm things down, but you can rely on those charge stacks. I think it opens up the close combat as a potential asset for that Pokemon, whereas prior to this, you might see Primate with close combat because it has a Karate Chop, and Annihilate was strictly Ice Punch, at least in the Championship Series. So seeing that variability, that change-up, is actually really cool and really exciting.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite things is when a Pokemon has a different kind of niche, right? A different play style. Before it was all fast, 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 do a lot of damage, but now it's more finesse, right? The charge attacks. And here we see the Clefable, another Pokemon that we don't see very often, come out and do really, really well for GoLeagueGregg in that league matchup. And then obviously we see the
So after this, they go to
Annihilate
interview me. We will play the interview, and then we'll move on to the rest of the verbal story.
The Altaria.
Yeah, of course. And you called it out so well, right? In that, especially that battle number 1, running into a Galarian Corsola and a Wigglytuff team, GoLeagueGregg did absolute magic on stage to get that Annihilate into a competitive position. But game number 2, he just gathered so much momentum towards the second half of the battle, and I really feel like Xmont had maybe 2 or 3 different win conditions and kind of flirted with each one, but didn't like commit, right? And I think that in the end kind of destabilized his win conditions and ultimately caused him to fizzle out.
Yeah, and that happens. Like, I mean, that's the thing about these tournaments. They're very high stakes, very fast paced. So you gotta really understand what's my win condition, and you kind of aim for one.
I did not medal, no,
Smooth
boy.
Come in
I did
to
not.
play. So I'm really happy that we were able to see GoLeagueGregg take that.
If I can quote one of our old mutual friends here, Wild Susan Boyle, says when the battle begins, there are limitless win conditions, but as the battle progresses, they all narrow down, and eventually you have to pick one, commit to it, maybe have a backup plan if you have that flexibility.
That was the best medal I could have gotten.
Hammer at home. Incredible series there. GoLeagueGregg advances to, I believe, our winners finals in Group D, which is really, really exciting. But we have so many other groups and so many other trainers that are just
winners finals.
We're gonna get Zimmy Kid on stage pretty soon.
Oh, he's one of my favorites because he always brings something a little bit different, right? He was famous for bringing Surf Edge.
Yeah.
He's brought a lot of wild spice.
I wonder who I'll verse in the winners finals. I guess we'll see in a few minutes.
So, we'll see
oh my goodness, a subscription!
How he takes that momentum.
Pause. Labrador. Hold on, too loud. Labrador, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. 2 subscriptions in the last 20 minutes is insane to me. That's absolutely insane. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Labrador. Absolutely. We were in your stream of the day, gave you a follow, got to watch some of your battles. You're an amazing streamer, an amazing follower. Please go give them a follow. Thank you for being here. That is incredible. Not 1, but 2 subscriptions in the last 20 minutes. 2 subscriptions in general. I don't know how else to say how grateful I am for you guys subscribing. That is just, I'll never get past the fact that people will spend money to support this channel like that. That's just phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for being here. Just thank you. Seriously, thank you so much.
Finish
Let's get back to this
as well.
I gotta be honest, Alex, I really want to know the secrets behind this Annihilate gameplay. Is low kick the tech here this weekend in Houston? Let's head down to the stage and have DeFi talk with GoLeagueGregg.
Thank you so much, Will. That is exactly the question that I have as well. I'm here with Greg. Tell me about the low kick Annihilate. Is that the tech for the weekend?
Absolutely. Low kick Annihilate this weekend is going to be massive. That update from this season is really bringing it back into the forefront, especially the non-shadow version. If you can get Annihilate just ramped up and going with, a couple extra shields, there's nothing stopping it.
And I noticed that this is your first season playing in the Championship Series, just now in 2026. But people know you from streaming, from doing other things prior. Why start the Championship Series now?
Truth be told, I really didn't know about it. I didn't look into it. I played very casually, and then I started streaming as a way to allow myself to play more often, to kind of make an excuse as opposed to getting bogged down with work. And then it really took off from the stream, and people were like, you should go to these events, and here we are now.
And what would you recommend to trainers who are maybe thinking about attending their first championship series event?
Go. Absolutely go. Doesn't matter how you do in the main event, the side events. If you go and get around the environment and just start to participate, you're going to have a fantastic time.
And I think that is great advice to all trainers out there. Now, I know you've got a big community behind you. Is there anyone you want to shout out before I let you get back to the tournament?
Absolutely. I want to shout out just anyone that's part of the Go Lounge, our Discord server. Obviously, Overlord Raikou, Crispy, and Spellbringer, the four of us are the ones really making that run.
I did say that.
And then all my great friends who are here today. There's so many people I want to shout out, but just everybody.
We love when trainers have a big community behind them, but we have a big tournament to get back to. Speedy is Chief. House Stark, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thank you so much, DeFi and GoLeagueGregg. I love seeing people that are a huge part of the community and inspiring other trainers to do more regional events, to come out to these, because this is really where the magic happens.
I really like the confidence too. As soon as DeFi asked about the Annihilate, he said that's absolutely the tech this weekend, and I think you have to be certain of your team and your plays if you are going to take it the distance here in Houston. So I'm really excited to get into our next set of battles as our new pair of...
And I sure did. I sure did. Okay, so let me House Stark. Yeah, House Stark was great. Speedy was great. They were all great. I met DeFi before. All amazing people. All incredible people. And what the hell happened here? Cool. I guess I never got the other half. Oh, I guess not. I guess you didn't fill the other half. That's funny. Yeah, I'm 6'3". I am on the taller side for sure. So that was great, and I was all excited, and here we go. Now moving on to winners final, right? Which is phenomenal. That was cool when you let House Stark borrow your Lamborghini. Oh, that was really cool. That was really cool when you did that, Esteban. I think that was pretty nice of you, honestly. You're such a great guy. Ladies, what a great guy he is. So, excuse me for a second. Allergies just kicking my ass today. Did you say my name, Superboy? I will say your name, and I'll scream from the highest mountain in the loudest possible ways. Oh, allergies are killing me, y'all. So, I'm hyped up at this point. I'm so hyped up at this point. I just won my first battle on stream. I'm on my way to the winners final for Group D. That's right. Dink coined the phrase for the weekend. It's lock in, Greg. And that was it. Just lock in, Greg. That's all we had to do. So, I get on Crispy's stream because he's co-casting the event. Him and Spellbringer. But it's on Crispy's channel. And I get in there, and they're going crazy, and they're loving it, it's all excited. And, what was I going to say? And Crispy's like, dude, where are the theatrics? Where's the energy, right? Where's the emotion? You were just so straight-faced and focused on stage. We need a little something, right? And I went, oh, they want the full Greg. I better give it to him. I better give it to him when I'm on my next stream, because I know now that all of the winners finals are streamed. So I will 100% be doing my next battle on stream yet again. And I look to see who it is. And who do you think it is that I'm going to battle? None other than Sari, who you might know as Cackerhead. You got to get that out of your head, though. It's no longer Cackerhead. It's Sari, but I want to just say it one more time to really emphasize. One of my dearest friends, who I sat there with on VC, going line by line with him to make sure he registered and showed up to this event, is now the one I'm up against in the winners final. How beautiful is that? How amazing is that? Why is he not Cax anymore? When they went to start the event, they said you have to change your name. That the Cackerhead 420 was not appropriate for the casting. It was the 420 part, really. But there's already another account that already has the name Cackerhead. Come on in. Let's see what it is. It's Go League Mom with a cup of coffee. Oh, fuck yeah. Mom, come on, say hi. We're doing a recap of Houston.
All right, I have to say hi and go because I'm watching a movie.
Go say hi.
Hi. Good luck.
All right.
My movie.
Go enjoy your movie. What are you watching? What movie are you watching?
We're watching a movie.
What movie are you watching?
We're just watching a TV show.
All right.
Not a movie.
Enjoy your movie.
I figured movie sounded better.
They said they miss you.
Wink, wink.
They said they miss you.
I know. I heard you.
Oh, okay.
Miss you guys too.
Okay. Just snooze this for a second. So, did you curse in front of your mother? No. No. She curses more than I do, though. Anyway. So, they said that Cackerhead 420, the 420 part was the part that was inappropriate for being on stream. And there's another account that already has the name Cackerhead. So he came up with this. I believe he said it was an anagram of some kind. But I'm not going to dox him about it either, so I'll let him explain it if he wants to. But this is it. You knew Cackerhead from the chat. You knew Cackerhead from the Discord. Now you're going to know Isari from the regional events, because he was in your top 12 finalists for the 2026 Houston regional event as well. Isari's going all the way one of these days. Count it. It means huge peen in Latin? I believe so. I believe so. I believe it too. By the way, real quick, can I just say this real quick? I'm going to say it anyway because no one can stop me. I have all the control over here. Isari, that dude's handsome. He's a handsome motherfucker. I never met him before. I didn't know what I was walking into. I had no idea what he looked like. All I knew was what his voice sounded like. I'd never seen his face up until this moment. And I knew I could just listen for him. It's an undeniable, instantly recognizable voice. Pipes of an angel. And I hear, "What's up, Greg?" And I look, and the most handsome motherfucker's looking back at me. And I'm like, oh shit, Cackerhead's a good looking dude. Because he was still Cackerhead at the time. I can say it then. What a handsome fella. Anyway, back to it. Here we are. Beautifully poetic. I called it from the night before when we got our matchups that me and Isari were, I'm saying that right? Before I confuse everybody. Esteban Isari. Or Isari. Sorry. Am I saying it right? Choose your pronunciation now. Yes, I am? Good. Okay, great. Because once it's locked in up here, it's locked up like that forever. We've seen that with many of the people that have been in the stream, and I keep calling them the wrong name because I read it the wrong way the first time. Plus, everyone's learning the new name. I want to make sure they get it right. Isari. I called it. I called it from the moment we got our matchups and got our times for the next day. That he and I, you can roll the R. No, I cannot. No, I can't. I am way too white to do that. So, you, the audience, can roll the R. Me can physically not. Caucasian. Look at that. Look how white that is. It ain't happening. But I appreciate the recommendation or the offer. I digress. I called it from when we got our matchups. He and I would meet in the finals, and here we are at the finals. To give you a little rundown of his battles, because he did not get a bye. Well, his first person was a no-show. They didn't register their team, so it kind of was like a bye. Took on Magic Mason, who was another no-show. Oh, fuck. We were just crushing it, man. So, the first person didn't register a team, they disqualified. Magic Mason didn't show up. They did register a team, but they didn't show up. Disqualified. Took on King Jimmy in a 2-1. Then took on the Daname for another 2-1 in the semifinals to find me in the finals. And what a moment. I was so excited. Man, I was so excited. And I said it from the beginning. I said there's only 2 outcomes here. And I don't lose in either one. I either make it to the next day in winners finals, or I get to see my friend go on to the next day in winners finals. I couldn't lose. So I'm going to queue up those sets of battles. As I do that, the ads are coming up. It's going to come up in about 50 seconds. Once we get back from the ads, we will then watch the battles between me and Aisari. And, we'll take some notes. We'll talk about where I threw. We'll talk about where... I'm not going to comment on Aisari's gameplay. I can't talk about if they threw, if they made any good calls, if they did anything like that. So I'm not going to judge someone else's play. I'm going to judge my own plays, my own actions, of which I knew I definitely did throw at one point. So, I'll cue that up. Let's get it going. See if I can find it. Somewhere around here, I think. Maybe? Where was it? Oh, where is our battle? It's right here in the 4 range. There we are. Also, I want to clarify, just because I said I threw doesn't mean that Aisari couldn't beat me. I think he's a better player than I am. Truth be told, I think he's better at this game than I am. So, he didn't need me to throw to win. I just know that I definitely did throw somewhere. As soon as the ads come back, I got it queued up. We should be ready to go. iPhone cover. K-God is live. As soon as we get back from the ads. In the meantime, I'm going to sip some coffee. Cheers, y'all. With the GoLeagueGregg mug, by the way. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it's showing up that well. But right here, I had this thing etched. And it said, and it says GoLeagueGregg. How can we forget Superboy? I would never forget Superboy. I don't think anybody could. Back from ads yet? Come on. Greedy fox. Let me play this game and chat with my friends. There we go. It's 30 seconds. Less than 30 seconds. We'll play this. By the way, weekend still going phenomenal. Weekend is still going phenomenally. Right? I made it on stream twice. I'm in the finals for my bracket on the winner's side. I'm having the best time. This is by far my best performance and what I think one of, if not my favorite regional to this date. So here we go.
Also saw that Licky, another good save switch. I think those are the types of Pokemon that we really enjoy seeing because they can do so much. The rock, the rollout, fast attack, the Shadow Ball, and the Body Slam. You're able to get so much energy quickly and have a diverse move set in terms of typings and matchups. Like Licky is one of those Pokemon that can fight back into things like Medicham.
Yeah, exactly. Or Annihilate, right?
Right.
You and I were watching a match backstage. We saw the Annihilate, and the Licky came out, and you said, "Oh, this isn't good." And I said, "For who?" Right? That's a valid question because if the Shadow Ball comes through, it could be devastating. But in that case, it was the Annihilate that had the edge.
Right. I think Annihilate is a little bit more fighter inducive than the Medicham.
I'll tell you what, Alex, we're here in Houston this weekend. We have so many events in North America, LATAM, in Europe, and beyond, but you need to start where you are. Let's go ahead and check out the ball rolling, and then you'll have a lot of other players come out too who also want to compete.
Absolutely. It's some of my favorite people is the people that I've met in my local communities, and now you can actually also reserve your hotel for NAIC, which is going to be in New Orleans. Yeah, absolutely. Correct. Which is right around the corner from you.
Exactly. That's the big easy. Everybody loves the food and they love the fashion down in New Orleans, so you want to get a head start on the North America Internationals. As a reminder, that is the last chance to earn championship points to shore up your position on the leaderboards and clutch up that World Championships invitation. So keep that on your calendar, everybody.
Absolutely. And that's one of my favorite events of the year because you see people from not only just North America, but you see people from all over the world. It's an international convention.
Here we go.
It's lovely. It's amazing. So now we're actually getting ready for our next streamed matchup. We have
there he is. Look at him.
We have
look how handsome he is.
Who we've already seen before. And then on our right, we have Esteban. So left and like we have really talented players. We're ready to go. We're seeing some teams that we've seen some Pokemon we haven't seen.
Hey, you know?
That's my favorite thing.
When we saw
Thanks, buddy.
GoLeagueGregg, we said that Clefable might be an issue for his opponents, but we got some throwbacks coming out on Esteban's team. As soon as we get that team graphic up on screen, we will rip right into it because these Pokemon are wild.
They're talking about that Noctowl.
Florges was out of the meta. I thought Noctowl was 2 years ago, but we're back.
We're back. I think Florges actually may be back into the meta because of Shadow Scizor being taken out, so it actually has some play into the steel types of today's meta. However, that Noctowl is such a throwback. I remember using that like, what is it, 2021?
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
The Shadow Dropion is also something we have not seen. So I'm excited to see exactly how these Pokemon are able to be utilized by Esteban here.
Yeah, I really think that, actually, you know what? Last time we saw GoLeagueGregg, we didn't think the Unova Stunfisk get any play into the composition he was up against, but look at this team from Esteban. I mean, outside of the Quagsire and the Florges, I think you've got neutral or advantageous matchups, maybe across the board.
Yeah.
Based on these movesets and typings.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think Esteban has the Shadow Fortress. I think that's going to be an issue for GoLeagueGregg potentially, except for that Stunfisk. So you might actually have to lean on that Stunfisk. So it's going to be really back and forth, and it really comes down to positioning, right? Having your Pokemon in the right spot and making sure that your Pokemon have the right tools necessary for you to win that game and find those win conditions. Speaking of win conditions, let's find out our first one as we see the leads here of Altaria into Shadow Fortress.
Now, normally, in every other scenario...
I knew it. I knew it. I knew you were going to lead with Fortress. I called it. I sensed it in my brain. Had to do it.
But you would say a dragon would struggle versus a steel-type Pokemon. But if Altaria connects that flamethrower, this Fortress is going to go up in smoke. Here comes the charge attack and the instant shield by Esteban.
This is one of my favorite matchups for Altaria because you don't even have to count. You can just spam on the flamethrower and you get there right before that Rock Tomb is reached. It's perfect timing.
Oh, very nice. Kind of autopilot through it. But the Rock Tomb will threaten a lot of HP and debuff the Altaria's attack. So we do see the first shield of the game.
Yeah, and I think that's a smart shield here. Now the thing is, though, Fortress can outpace to that next flamethrower. So this isn't going to be enough to knock out, but it is going to put the Altaria dangerously low.
I wonder if you see the second shield from Esteban, if you need to swap here as GoLeagueGregg. Only going to fire one Dragon Breath there in the midst of the Volt Switch, but he does get the flamethrower, which is the most important part. Esteban shields his Fortress.
I kind of like that shield because now what you can do is you can utilize your Pokemon here and effectively balance whether you want to go for Rock Tomb, whether you want to go for Sand Tomb. You can switch it to whichever Pokemon you want. Like you have control over this matchup. And now I believe the Shadow Dropion is going to come in to start resisting these fast attacks.
Yeah, this is actually really nice to control switch advantage because it means that Esteban is able to save his Quagsire from this Furret, which would have been devastating, especially in a shields down scenario. But the Drapion, it's back in the meta. Crunch might pick up the KO after the Sand Tomb, and he goes on charge attack priority. Devious gameplay.
Triple Shadow, that's right.
Play here.
He was running 4 Shadow
is going
Pokemon.
to hurt, so we do see the shield come up from that Furret. And now, actually, this Furret's in a pretty good position because if you can get this knockout, then that Quagsire in the back is not going to appreciate any type of grass attack from that Furret.
That's exactly right. Swift is not
That
quite
handsome
enough.
guy?
It doesn't
That's a
have what it
handsome
takes, and
motherfucker. Let me tell you
Empoleon finishes the job. Now we've got the Quagsire coming out, kind of opening the door for Esteban here.
Yeah, I think in this...
I can't read and think. Gotta run. Have to get sleep. Got a long, cold day ahead tomorrow. Ugh, spring got. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jay. Really sorry to hear that. Get some rest. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you hanging out and having a good time with us. You were a rocket grunt in that regional. We couldn't find rockets for the scavenger hunt. Sheesh. But yeah, Jay, thanks for being here. Get some rest. We'll see you again tomorrow, hopefully. We got 2 new followers in the process. Oh my goodness. SJ and the Masked Asian. Welcome to the stream. Shout out to the Masked Asian. I saw you on... Obviously, I saw you all around this event. We're doing a Houston recap right now. That's weird. Do it. Saw you at the regional. Yo, great run. Also very nice meeting you. So nice meeting you. What an incredibly nice person. Great battler. Definitely go give them a follow. I saw you on Twitter last night, or X last night, talk about Hone Edge. I might have to pick your brain. I really want to make it work. I'm struggling to find the right system. I've got a good, Aegis Slash. I've got a great Aegis Slash. I'm trying my best to make it work. It's just, it's a tricky play. It's a little different than I normally play, but I want to make it work, so I might pick your brain later if I'm given the opportunity to. Hope to see you in future ones. Absolutely. When's the next one you're going to? I am now currently registered, or rather, I have all my flights booked for every single event left for 2026 in North America. I'm going to Orlando next week. I'm going to LA. I'm going to Indy. I'm going to NAIC. And I'll probably be a spectator unless I do really well this weekend in Orlando, but I'm trying to go to Worlds. So, any of those you're going to, I want to be there. Or I'm going to be there, so I'll see you there. Okay, back to this. NAIC for sure. Indy's up for grabs. Well, I hope to see you both. I truly do. I'm going to rewind this a little bit. We'll get back to the battle.
In a pretty good position, because if you can get this knockout, then that Quagsire in the back is not going to appreciate any type of grass attack from that Furret.
That's exactly right. Swift is not quite enough.
I got to pause it again. Sorry, guys. It's good that we rewind as far as we did. Pink Moon Mystic with the huge raid. Pink Moon Mystic, welcome on into the raid. Welcome on into the stream. Welcome on in, Raiders. Thank you for being here. Such an honor to have you all here. How was your stream? Seriously, thank you so much for being here. Welcome on in, Raiders. How are you? We're doing a Houston recap right now. It's my first time getting to stream since being back from Houston. So welcome on in. Hi. Shout out to Pink Moon Mystic. Yeah, we're doing a recap. We're currently in winners finals for bracket D. Me versus, you might formally know him as Cackerhead, Isari. He and I are on stream battling out. Greg, have I not earned a sword yet? Cax, Isari, I gave you the sword like a year ago, and you were like, I don't want that, actually. Can you make me VIP instead? And I did. Would you like to be modded? Because you're more than welcome to be. You were a mod before. Do you remember that? Yes, please. It is done. Absolutely. What was always your sword, I never give it away. I just move it to the side. I just placed it to the side until you came back for it. Of course you can have that. W mod for sure. Trainers, welcome on in. Pink, how was your stream? Please tell me while we continue on reviewing the battles that I was in on stream in Houston. Oh my goodness. Our newest mod, hold on. Time to take that out. Our newest mod just subscribed for 12 months. Did a year subscription and is currently on a 12-month stream. Dude, 12 months? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean 12 months? That is the biggest subscription we've ever gotten. What do you mean 12 months? A year. Oh my goodness. The one, the only, your Houston top 12 finalist, tied for 9th place with GoLeagueGregg and 2 other people. Sorry, he's one of our VIPs. He's one of our mods. He's one of my best friends. He's one of my dearest friends. How amazing. How amazing. Thank you so much for doing that, buddy. Thank you so much. That is just an honor. Just an absolute honor. 1 year, 12 months, close. Close. You're over by 2 months, buddy. Almost. Buddy, thank you. That is so kind of you. Anyway, we got to get back to it. I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful for all of you. You guys are so amazing. Rewind it just 10 seconds. All stream was good. Lost my mind a little bit in set 6. That's okay. Stayed locked in. Lock in. That was the whole message for this regional. Lock in Greg was the motto for the weekend, and boy did we. Boy did we. Let's get back to the battle. This is our first battle. It was Altaria into Shadow Fortress. Shields are now down. Drapion is now gone with this motion. Always gotta lock in. Always gotta lock in. Drapion is gone. I shield up. We use the Swift. We're good. Oh, hold on. The phone froze. There we go. Okay. Right? No, hold on. We good? Wait a second. I think we did too much. I think we got a little too excited. We might have hit the phone. I don't know what's going on, y'all.
Oh, what a mistake from Greg. This might end up...
All right. Man, what's going on with this thing? I swear I wasn't doing this a minute ago.
Punch as well, even if it's resisted by that steel typing on the Empoleon. No Pokemon wants to take this, and bam! Ooh. Spears through, taking that Empoleon down into the yellow.
And we are going to see a charge attack priority, but Empoleon wins charge attack
back.
Nice to control switch advantage because it means
here we go.
Esteban
this is where we left
able
off
to save his Quagsire from this.
I shield.
Turret,
I throw the Swift,
especially in a shields down scenario. But the Drapion, it's back in the meta. Crunch might pick up the KO after the Sand Tube, and he goes on charge attack priority.
Really smart play here. This Crunch is going to hurt. So
let's go over. Hold on.
Come up from
let's get back to it.
And now, actually, this Ferret's in a pretty good position because if you can
give Pink Moon Mystic a follow, please.
Then that Quagsire in the back is not going to appreciate any type of grass.
See, it did it again. It just paused right there. Why does it keep pausing at that moment? I don't know why it keeps pausing right at that moment. It's like it doesn't like getting past that moment. Maybe it's a stream issue? If this doesn't work, I will shut down... Thank you, Superboy. I'll shut down the app and open it back up. I don't know what's going on, though. So you're saying Double Tail does more, though? It shouldn't be an issue, because we're not even touching the phone. Okay, there's that. There's this. It says it's connected. There we go. Just so when it plays, I don't have to rewind anymore. Where we left off was, I shielded the Crunch, I threw the Swift, and then I immediately switched on over to Empoleon to get the last one or two, like one Metal Sound, I think, maybe two, to clean up the rest of the Drapion, while also having the Switch Timer already going, and being that much closer to my next move. Those future swings to get closer to my move that I was going for again, while getting the timer already going.
Right, Swift is not quite enough. Drapion doesn't have what it takes, and Empoleon finishes the job. Now you've got the Quagsire coming out, kind of opening the door for Esteban here.
Yeah, I think in this scenario specifically, the shields down scenario, Empoleon actually has a pretty okay matchup into the Quagsire, despite the fact that you're taking super effective fast attack damage. All of your charge attacks are going to be resisted here, so Hydro Cannon's gonna hurt.
Exactly. Stone Edge packs a punch as well, even if it's resisted by that steel typing on the Empoleon. No Pokemon wants to take this, and bam! Ooh. Spears through, taking that Empoleon down into the yellow.
And we are going to see a charge attack priority, but Empoleon wins charge attack priority. It is going to be enough to knock out. However, that Fortress still has a little bit of health and is going to be doing super effective Volt Switch damage into this Empoleon if the time. But the timer's up.
Switch timer's up. Here comes Furret to try to finish the job here for
Ready, and here
Greg. He's got the
is where I fucked up.
But he waits.
Right there. Right there, I completely threw. You can watch it. You'll see it. That's weird. And I gotta tell you, this piece of equipment is just the worst. And this is the Apple brand as well. Like, it's the Apple branded version. It's the connector. It's supposed to make this smoother, so I'm not using any internet to, like, you know, scale or cast. But it's just, I don't know what's going on with this thing. There.
Powering off.
Yeah, that's fine. I legit don't know what the problem is. It's not the device. It's definitely the connectors. Why they don't work, I don't know.
Any type of grass attack
But here,
from that.
watch.
That's exactly
Very
right. Swift
close.
is not quite enough. Drapion doesn't have what it takes, and Empoleon finishes the job. Now you've got the Quagsire coming
once
out.
the Quagsire's gone, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Why? Why does he keep doing this? What the hell is going on tonight? This is so annoying.
Is the job. Now you've got the Quagsire coming out, kind of opening the door for Esteban here.
Yeah, I think in this scenario specifically, the shields down scenario, Empoleon actually has a
Watch when I get back.
okay matchup into the Quagsire, despite the fact that you're taking super effective fast attack damage. All of your charge attacks are going to be resisted here, so Hydro Cannon's going to hurt.
Exactly. Stone
We
Edge
CMP here in a
packs a
second.
punch as well, even if it's resisted by that steel typing on the Empoleon. No Pokemon wants to take this, and bam!
If you're throwing two Aqua Tails, I would have just thrown.
And we are going to see a charge attack priority, but Empoleon wins charge attack priority. It is going to be enough to knock out. However, that Fortress still has a little bit of health and is going to be doing super effective volt switch damage into this Empoleon if the time. But the timer's
up. Here comes Furret to try to
right
finish
here.
the job here for
I'm clicking right where the Swift is, and for some reason I click away from where the Swift is. I don't know if I look away. I don't know if my thumb or my finger grips. I don't know if I thought I clicked it and I miscounted. But I was clicking right where it was.
Play here. You are going to have some fast attack damage.
One more time there.
Is probably not going to be able to get to another charge attack.
I think you have to go Empoleon here. But you might get
Fortress.
switch down.
Fortress would have gone down here.
Do. Will one
Instead of farming down
lock this up?
both my
or the
Empoleon and my Altaria.
There comes the Sand Tomb.
It's going to be so close. I actually don't know if it's enough because of the Sand Tomb buff. I think it is.
I don't know why.
I think it will be.
I know that
Shadow
I'm
Fortress
definitely used to,
spins
once I
up
make
a close
contact with my
one
fast attack, to
versus
continue clicking on my charge attack.
And Esteban.
Once I make contact with my charge attack,
yeah, and I think GoLeagueGregg is holding his hand in his face because
so like I don't
he
miss
really
any
had that
moves
matchup
while
on
going
lock
into
and
my
just
charge attack.
waited a little bit too long to fire off that Swift.
Hey, you know what? As the battle goes on, it's kind of like a recipe. You're tossing in so many ingredients, all the energy gets shuffled. Pokemon pop in and out, shields go up and down, and when you get to that point, maybe you get lost in the sauce. And I think that's
great
what
battle. The
happened
announcers go
with
on to say in a
GoLeagueGregg.
little bit.
It's up
These
to
are their
Esteban to prove that
favorite
wasn't a
battles
fluke and take the
for
2-0 here,
the
or
weekend.
it's up to GoLeagueGregg.
This is their favorite battles of the entire time.
Esteban played really well.
I think we did great.
And that Fortress came in so clutch.
Throwing
here this crunch on the charge attack priority, really smart play as well. And then the coming in with the Empoleon to farm down the rest of that Shadow Drapion.
Yeah.
Really smart plays.
I had to throw on
both
CMP
players
with that there
playing out of their minds.
In case you were throwing
I think that the end game, the only thing that the difference was is that Fortress is just such an incredible Pokemon in this meta, and it's able to hold on. So you got to take it out whenever you get the chance.
So maybe that forces Greg to play the Annihilate. And speak of it, it shall appear.
And I tried to go back to it. Once I realized it wasn't clicking, I tried to go back to it. It was too late. I lost CMP. Oh, we're already starting. Hold on.
Yeah, and this is actually
I'm going to pause, and I really hope it doesn't fuck up. I really hope it doesn't fuck up. Hands are up. I just want to start from the beginning.
I agree. Esteban played really, really well out of his mind, and that Fortress came in so clutch, throwing here this punch on the charge tech priority. Really smart play as well. And then the coming in with the Empoleon to farm down the rest of that Shadow Drapion.
Yeah.
Really smart plays. Both players playing out of their minds. The end game, the only thing that the difference was is that Fortress is just such an incredible Pokemon in this meta, and it's able to hold on. So you got to take it out whenever you get the chance.
So maybe that forces Greg to play the Annihilate. And speak of it, it shall appear. Game number 2.
You can see my face.
The Annihilate lead into Shadow Quagsire.
Yeah, and this is actually a very interesting matchup because
lock in, Greg.
You want to go for the close combat if you want the knockout, but if you want to just start building up your attack and go for multiple charge attacks, you might have to shield and go for Rage Fist.
Yeah, I think you're right. First Aquatail does come through. Rage Fist, the strategy has been chosen. GoLeagueGregg is going to try to ramp up the pressure here instead of going for the knockout, and I saw you recoil. No shield on what could have been a close combat.
Yeah, and the thing about Quagsire is it's got the fastest charge attack in the West.
He knows my playing strategy.
Look at Annihilate.
He knows that I was going for the Rage Fist.
I'm pretty fast too. These low kicks go way faster than before. Now you have to shield a Rage Fist.
Yeah, exactly. If it's high noon and both of these Pokemon draw at the same time, Annihilate does have the edge. Aquatail going to peel that shield away from GoLeagueGregg, kind of applying pressure on his own.
Yeah, I think here the problem with is, oh my goodness, what another great catch. Empoleon has been catching moves left and right.
I can't with the wink at the camera. GoLeagueGregg knows exactly what he's doing up there on stage. Here comes a Fortress though, and those Volt Switches are going to punish this Water and Steel type.
As promised to Crispy and Spell and the rest of the people from the Go Lounge, the theatrics were going to be increased for this round. I love the laugh I got out of Speedy from that one. So much so that it has become a new emote. If you are subscribed to the channel, you have access to the GoLeagueGregg winking on stage emote. The wheeze was hilarious. But yeah, there it is. It's one of 2 new emotes that will be premiered today. But here it is. It doesn't, unfortunately, animated emotes don't animate here while they're on screen during the bounce around. But in the chat, you can see it. There's a bit of a wink. And I'm going to see if I can fix that still image to be, like to show the, there it is. Shout out Mario. I love that emote. That's from Seattle. But I'm gonna see if I can fix that emote to be to have this as the still that bounces around. But for now, just enjoy the fact that in the chat I'm winking at you. Anyway, back it up. I want to hear that wheeze again from Speedy.
And right.
I can't with the wink at the camera. GoLeagueGregg knows exactly what he's doing up there on stage. Here comes a Fortress though, and those Volt Switches are
go way faster than before. Now you have to shield a Rage Fist.
Yeah, exactly. If it's high noon and both of these Pokemon draw at the same time,
and by the way, exclamation point Catch King, that's what that wink was.
That shield away from GoLeagueGregg, kind of applying pressure on his own.
Yeah, I think here the problem with is, oh my goodness, what another great catch. This Empoleon has been catching moves left and right.
I can't with the wink at the camera. GoLeagueGregg knows exactly what he's doing up there on stage. Here comes a Fortress though, and those Volt Switches are going to punish this Water and Steel type Empoleon.
Absolutely, but these Hydro Cannons still really,
I didn't have time
really
to
hurt.
say
So
exclamation point Catch King.
Esteban's going to have to make a decision.
But that
he does
look
actually
to
decide
you,
to shield.
the
I think
audience,
that's the right call.
was
no, absolutely.
exclamation point Catch King.
You can take one Hydro Cannon perhaps. Oh, actually goes for the Sand Tomb to cut off the energy. That's very clever.
Yeah, I really like this play because now what happens is you have to shield in order to get off another.
This is a great play,
deck,
by the way.
But you also realize that you have a shiny, beautiful Unova Stunfisk waiting in the wings specifically for this matchup.
In comes the Annihilate. It's close, but it's not close enough to the close combat. Here comes another Sand Tomb to force you to the final shield. GoLeagueGregg, you actually overcharge a bit here. Just be careful about how many Volt Switches you take.
Right, but actually does not. Thinks about what one Volt Switch would do to Annihilate, so
Correct.
going specifically exactly for that.
This is a poor play on my
not gonna
end.
be enough to knock
If
out,
I had
but that's
thrown
okay,
one more,
because now you come in with the Stun Fist,
Fortress wouldn't have been
and
around
this is
anymore,
an
and I wouldn't have taken that
incredible
extra
matchup for
energy.
Stun Fist.
It's gonna be a little hairy though, because that Shadow Drapion I think is 1 Poison Sting energy lead, and it's
True.
only 8 turns to the Aqua Tail. This Stunfisk is gonna take 2 charge attacks.
Yeah, but it can survive 2 charge attacks. That's the beauty of Stunfisk, is it's got that bulk that you really enjoy, and it can also fire back into flyers, into poison types, and it's got incredible coverage.
I feel like you're like Stunfisk salesman right here. You're Stunfisk greatest soldier. We're gonna see another Aqua Tail come through, and this is gonna bring that shiny Unova Stunfisk down to the red.
Yeah, it's going to hold on, but it is going to put it dangerously low. I think the only thing you really have to watch out for is that Quagsire. So actually going straight for the discharge to guarantee the knockout. But now, is your switch timer up? Can you switch out into the Annihilate?
Yeah, I think you get much shot down if you stay here.
Yeah.
This is really tough for the Stunfisk. Out comes the Annihilate trying to outpace to the Rage Fist. Does he get there? No. The mud shots are adding up, and here comes the charge attack.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is definitely going to be enough. Both players kind of really going
was
down
the right
the
play
wire
still.
here.
Because I got the
Quagsire
Rage
picks
Fist
up
out, it
the
would
KO into the
over.
Annihilate. Out comes the Stunfisk. The Thunder Shocks don't do much, but they do enough. Now the Fortress is the final Pokemon. It's trying to get the charge attack. It's going to be a knockout.
Oh my gosh, what a game.
1 HP in a
Stunfisk
dream. 1 HP in
pulling
the
out
chat,
its
y'all.
Trump card, which is that bulk, the triple
What a
resistance
game.
of Volt Switch, which you'd never see, and the ability to knock out a Pokemon that has a super effective charge attack into it.
It took everything to win that battle and keep himself in
not
the
out of
series.
this.
Go
I said I'm not out of this.
With a sigh of relief on stage that Unova and Stunfisk pulled through, but it could not have been closer than it was.
3 things going on in my head right here. Number 1, holy shit, that was way too close. Number 2, I have to figure out exactly what it brings this next battle. I don't want to lose. Like, I gotta lock in Greg. And the third thing I'm thinking right here, if I threw the fucking Swift, I wouldn't have to worry right now. Those are the 3 things going on in that beautiful man's head. That's right, I'm beautiful too. There's 2 handsome men on this stage right now. Maybe they'll kiss. I don't know. You don't know. You weren't there. You might have been there, but you weren't there for that. Anyway, those are the 3 things I'm thinking right now. Damn, that was close. Lock in. I wouldn't have to lock in if I just threw the fucking Swift.
That was incredible. I have no words. That was one of my favorite battles of the day so far.
Well, we're going to head into game number 3. We got to shake it off. You got to have a short-term memory here in competitive Pokemon Go, because there's not a lot of downtime. And in the midst of the sentence I just spoke, Esteban is already locked in.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite showcases of the Galarian or the Unova Stunfisk, excuse me, because it basically took down 3 Mons at once. Like, you never see that happen, right?
That's true. A sweep from a Pokemon that resembles a pancake is not very common. I can confirm.
Yeah, it is flat. It is very flat.
Well, Unova Stunfisk did get the big Thunder Shock down, but it wasn't done shocking because 2 more were enough to KO the Fortress, and we are headed into game number 3. Keys in the ignition, engines revving. We're going to get Shadow Drapion taking on Altaria.
Okay, this is a very neutral matchup. I believe Altaria can survive.
I thought you were going to come back with Fortress in the lead.
Definitely
I definitely thought
but
Fortress
can it survive
would be
2 crunches is the real question here.
That is the
the lead for
dilemma.
this one.
On charge attack priority yet again. This time, Esteban winning that exchange, going to get to crunch first.
Yeah, this crunch is going to come out. Is it going to debuff? Is it going to be enough for 2 to knock out? It's so close. It's actually right there.
I think with the Poison Stings, it will be enough. In debuff or not, I think Double Crunch could be the win condition in this lead matchup.
Yeah, but we actually see the no shield there. The crunch is going to come through just before the Dragon Breaths are enough to knock out.
I'm so glad I
and now
didn't get a
GoLeagueGregg
debuff
has
here.
a decision to make. Do you
I mean, I
shield
lost
or not?
anyway, but I'm so glad I
And
didn't
he
get a
does.
debuff
This
here.
is such a healthy Altaria. I mean, still at half health, this Pokemon can do a lot of work, and it does have some stored energy. I really like that shield, especially because you consider there's a Fortress and an Annihilate in the back. Altaria is a core breaker here.
Ooh, but you see a Volt
Bad
Switch come
timing,
through.
trainer.
Really interesting
Bad
timing there.
timing, that
The
costs me
Sky
everything
attack
later.
is going to get shielded up, though, which is kind of nice because you are able to save energy on the back end.
I mean, you save a couple ounces of energy, but that might be what you need to get to the flamethrower. Oh my goodness, another charge attack priority, intentional or not.
I needed those couple ounces of energy.
Oh my gosh, but you see the shield on the
Also,
sand
this
too
would have
late.
knocked out,
It is
so
gonna get shielded,
great
but
play.
now you're able to get this one last flamethrower and grab the last shield from Esteban's side, this is actually huge because now Annihilate can just freely close combat in the back.
Yeah.
And they both come in with Annihilate at the same time.
At the same exact moment, we're going to see which Annihilate wins that charge attack priority. And it goes to Esteban.
My
This is
Annihilate's a
actually
rank 1.
huge.
Mine is not
the
attack
second
weighted.
Rage Fist will absolutely KO.
Yeah, I have to agree. But it also opens up the door for, big heavy damage there. It opens up the door for that Empoleon in the back as well.
It does. We're going to see another Rage Fist.
I'm about to mess
getting
up the
fired up
second
in
time.
kind. Another
What I
heavy
should
damage
have done
as the hammer comes
was
down.
bring in the
Another
Empoleon.
charge attack priority as well. And just as we predicted, Esteban is able to win that exchange.
If I
Now,
brought
the
in the
question is,
Empoleon,
how much
then
can
I
he
would
carry
have been
over
able
into this
to
final matchup?
Get
Right,
extra
and who do you
energy
come in with? Do you come in with Empoleon to try to get as much energy as
double
possible but also
thrown,
take damage,
and then
or do you come
one?
with Altarian to be a little safer?
I
But
think you need
I
energy
didn't.
on the
I brought in
Empoleon, but
Altaria
GoLeagueGregg is
which
the
he still
pilot. He
didn't able
brings
to
in the
take
Altaria
down
for the
the
Dragon Breath
fortress.
down, and he does get it. Now he's looking for the swap
yeah.
into the Empoleon against the Fortress.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting because this Santum is going to be
But I
super
needed that
effective.
extra energy.
It's not
I need that
enough
extra
to
energy on
knock out,
Empoleon
but it
badly.
is going to put it in range for a second Santum to be enough. And does
Now
the
right
Hydro
here,
Cannon knock out the
Isari's
Fortress?
saying, you won, you got it, because he thinks that my Hydro Cannon is going to take out his Fortress. Had I gone Empoleon first, well, actually I'm not entirely positive. I would have taken at least one, if not two extra low kicks, and they're plus 2 low kicks. I don't know. I guess in hindsight, I'd like to know what the other option was. But I'm in the yellow. I'm in the mid to low yellow. 2 plus 2 low kicks would have been disgusting here. I don't know if I would have gotten to another move. And if I didn't get to another move, it's not like Altaria would have gotten to a different move better. You still would have made it to the Rock Tomb versus the... I don't know. I also think Sand Tomb probably would have also knocked out from here. So I don't know if there was a win con at that point. I think that extra Volt Switch I let in on the Altaria, because I threw on bad timing, is what cost me the whole thing here.
Is it enough, Speedy?
I don't think it's quite enough here. Hydro Cannon getting
right here,
fired
he's
off.
saying,
This is a
you won,
community
you got
day
it, it's
charge
over,
attack from
GG's.
Empoleon, one of the most powerful steel types in the meta. Fortress takes the hit, gets rocked, but hangs in there for the second Sand Tomb.
Oh my goodness. And now it's going to come down to, was that Volt Switch that snuck through enough damage to knock out this Altaria on the back end? This is going to be so close. This end game, does the Volt KO? It does!
Wow, a
It was.
final second KO
Great
from Esteban
game.
into GoLeagueGregg.
Great
What a series
game.
we just had.
What an amazing battle. Honestly. There were small mistakes that made the difference in those games. And again, I can't comment on what you would consider to be mistakes on your end. You can't get much closer than that. 1 HP on the last battle, 1 HP on the third battle. You can't get closer than that. I can point out where my mistakes are. I don't know if there were things that Kakarot would have wished he did differently or could have changed. Isari, I'm so sorry, but I'm working on it. I think he played phenomenally. I loved all the moves he made. I can't think of a move that he made that I'd be like, ooh, wouldn't have done that. I think he did great. I can only say the things that I messed up on. Should have thrown the Swift, and shouldn't have let that Volt Switch in. Those two mistakes, one of them's a little major than the other. Just throw the fucking Swift, you dumbass. Cost me this match. And that's also what I love about this game, is that it split-second decisions. It's so strategic. It's so down to such specific timing and strategy and pacing and knowledge and being able to do so many different things with your brain at once that make you a world-class trainer. They were so much fun. And Pink Moon, we have more battles coming up still as well. Also, thank you for still being here after your stream. I'm honored. I'm legitimately so honored to still have you here. Yeah, I could see in hindsight where my mistakes were. I can only do better next time. But you know what? I said at the beginning that there were only two options with this battle. I was either going to win or I was going to see my friend win. And I didn't lose in either of those options. So I'm grateful I got to battle Isari in the Group D Winners Finals for day one. Because then it gave me some fun battles coming up, which we're going to watch those as well. But let's finish this out real quick. I want to see Isari's interview, and yeah, we'll go from there. Then we'll
On
jump to the
stage
next
here
ones.
in Houston,
The next one, you guys
a Game 1 win from Esteban, a Game 2 nail-biter for
Thank you as well. I
GoLeagueGregg,
can't wait to see the next
and then
one,
a
buddy.
Game
I
3
can't wait to see the
Volt
next
Switch
one.
lockdown.
I love the hug
I
that
still
the
think it should be
trainers just shared
Orlando. Just saying.
on stream
I know you
there.
can't
That just
that
shows
work,
the
but
respect that
I
they
still
have
think
for
it
each
should
other.
be.
The amount of work that they both put in coming into this day, and seeing them both celebrate each other's success, I think is absolutely beautiful, and that's what we strive for here at these Pokemon Go regional tournaments.
I don't know. I've heard it's almost unusual how many hugs and handshakes we have on stage here at Go competitions. We have such a tight-knit community. Everybody supports each other, and I think there's so much mutual respect for these close games and for these exciting series. And honestly, if you're GoLeagueGregg, you've been on stream twice. You won the first time. The second time was one of the best pieces of content we've had all weekend long. Gotta be feeling pretty proud of yourself.
Yeah, I think both players played exceptionally well. They both played to their outs. They both played to their win conditions. They were shielding the right moves. They were, you know, doing like maneuvering left and right, hopping at the same time. Like, that was really awesome to see both players just playing so well.
That was fun. No Clefable
Great
in
battles.
this
They were
series,
great
but we did
battles.
get some Empoleon and Unova Stunfisk action, which we did not get in GoLeagueGregg's first appearance on stream. So definitely a fun showcase. Sand Tombs KOing Altarias, flamethrowers connecting into fortresses. We got
Isn't
it
it?
all.
Yeah,
I agree.
this was a back and forth heavyweight fight. We saw the Shadow Dropion show up. We saw the Altaria fighting off the Steel type. We saw the immediate swaps. It was just everything.
Yeah,
everything
this
you could
is
ask for.
Absolute cinema here in Houston, and we're only about halfway through day number 1. So if you're enjoying the tournament this weekend, give our channel a follow. Get active in the chat. Let us know what you think of these competitors.
Yeah, I'm just so happy. I'm glad we were able to see some really great battles. Not only great battles, but great battlers, but great Pokemon, and utilization of those Pokemon. It's just, I'm having so much fun here.
Yeah,
I really am.
It's absolutely spectacular, and it's only going to get better. Championship Sunday is a vibe unlike any other, and that is tomorrow. But for right now, we have 2 new trainers taking the stage. Stark, we've seen Clefable, we've seen Glaring Weezing, we've seen a ton of Guzzlord, Quagsire, Togekiss even. Is there anything else that's on your list that you would like to see today?
You know, it kind of bugs me that you haven't brought this up yet. Charge a bug.
Okay, but hold on. It feels like there's another Volt Switch user that's a lot more prominent and wins
Terrible
the head-to-head
pun.
versus Charge Bug.
I love
So
it, though.
why
I
bring
can't wait to
Charge
do
Bug?
cheesy puns myself.
Well, you know, it's good. It does the
good.
thing.
It's
It
good?
does
Spoiler alert.
better into like Corviknight, I
TCG
guess.
games in
Because
Orlando.
you have like the discharge.
Have fun. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Miss Dragonair.
Into Empoleon as well.
Jelaine, thank you for being
Right?
here.
That's-
Go give her a
that's
follow.
thing,
She
too.
also streams sometimes.
Also better into Guzzlord,
Into
better into
Malamar.
Malamar, better into Metacham. I'll help you out here. Give you some good matchups.
Appreciate that.
Well, while Stark and I deliberate the merits of Charge Bug versus Fortress, we're actually going to head down to the floor because DeFi is with Esteban. DeFi, take it away.
That's
Thank
my
you
boy.
so much, Will. I am here with the finalist from Group D going into the Sunday tomorrow, and that is Esteban. Esteban, this is your very first tournament here in Houston. Tell me, what brought you here today?
Believe it or not, I'm on Twitch a lot, so I was just hanging out with one of my best friends, actually GoLeagueGregg stream, and he was just hyping it up that I was going to be there, even though I didn't even mention it at all.
Real quick pause. I was just off. So this way. I was just off to the side of this street of this interview. I had my camera. I was taking pictures. I was taking videos. I was beaming behind the camera, just recording this content, saving this moment for Isari, because that's my boy right there. He's on stream. He won. He's being interviewed. That's my guy. I'm just so you know, if this is where they are, how do I aim this correctly? There's no way to do this the right way that it would show on stream. But I'm just out of frame, just taking pictures.
And I went ahead and just, my best friends, actually GoLeagueGregg stream, and he was just hyping it up that I was going to be there, even though I didn't even mention it at all. And I went ahead and just...
Look at that handsome guy. That's him.
And I registered, and here I am.
That's so much fun, and GoLeagueGregg is over here. He is recording the content to make sure that this moment stands in history. Congratulations, first tournament ever, going into Group D. How does that feel?
Honestly, my nerves are above and beyond right now. Like I said, it's my first time. But other than that, I kept my composure for the most part, I think.
I think you did as well. You kept it cool, calm, and collected and did a great job up there on the stage. Which Pokemon do you think is your MVP here this weekend?
Honestly, probably Drapion.
Ooh, really interesting. We saw that Pokemon might be back on the rise now that Mudslap has been nerfed and is kind of out of the meta for now. Would you like, we know GoLeagueGregg is here to support you, but was there anyone else you would like to shout out before I let you get on with your day? Because you're done for the day.
Yeah, all the guys in the Go Lounge, shout out to you guys.
Shout out Dink.
Shout out to Racif, or It's Dink. He's like the best coach out there. Without him, I wouldn't be the trainer that I am. And thank you out there to all my family members that support me out here. Thank y'all.
And thank you, Esteban, so much. We love to see hometown heroes and locals do well, and we absolutely love seeing new trainers come out and give the championship series a whirl. You've gone to show that it can work out quite well. We've got more battles to come. Let's take it back to House Stark and Speediest Chief.
All right, thank you so much, DeFi, for that amazing interview. I loved seeing the Go Lounge being mentioned because now they're lounging their way into day 2.
Exactly right. They can relax and kick back a little bit, but we're going to keep the action going, everybody. We got Javier, C2,
right,
1-8.
My audio cut out, so I don't know if he was saying anything. Oh, no, paused at a good time. Good. All right. So that happened, right? Wonderful, amazing, fantastic. Back to the verbal story. So now we're hyping. You Shadow Drapion most of my sets today. It is legit. It is legit. Shadow Drapion's always legit. I wanted to bring Shadow Drapion. My first team draft, when I put it together for Houston, Shadow Drapion was on there. Unfortunately, he just didn't make the cut in the very end. But he was on there. I don't think I'm going to bring him to Orlando. I kind of got a different team in mind. And I have one Pokemon that I really want to try to bring. I really got to get better at it first, but I have some practicing to do. I have some scrimming I need to do, and I know the people I need to scrim with, so yeah. Besides that, though, amazing Pokemon. Amazing Pokemon, amazing trainer, W interview, W everything. So now we're just all excited. He's done for the day. He's completely done for the day. He's done all of his battles. He's made it to day 2. And now the challenge for day 2 is coming up. But I still have another battle. And I'm kind of just like, well, I'm signed up for the challenge. I'd like to play the challenge. What are we doing here, y'all? Right? And I'm now paired up against Ashton Ash in the losers finals for Group D. And every time I tell somebody, hey, here's what I'm up against, they always go, oh, ugh. It was like, ugh, you know. I hope you had fun this weekend, right? Fun? You had fun at least? Most people are kind of counting me out. And I understand it's not a knock at me, it's an elevation towards Ash. I'm not giving up. However, I do want to play the cup still, or the challenge still. So I go and I find out what time we're going to start. And they're like, okay, we're going to finish out all the winners. And then we're going to go in losers reverse order. So it's going to go A through, was it H, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. A through H, winners, and then H through A, losers. So I'm in D, you're fine. No, the other way around, I'm sorry. Yeah, the other way around. We have H through A winners, and then A through H losers. So I just got to make sure I'm back before the end of losers round, of losers B, right? The finals for losers of the B group. Great, there's plenty of time. So I head over, I do the challenge. I have my first battle, I win my first battle. And also Ash is at the challenge as well, also competing. So I'm like, okay, great. I'm good. I know that if I need to, right, they can't start without both of us. They can try to start without one of us. They can't start without both of us. I keep an eye on him. I know that we're good. I let him know, hey, it's you versus me. I got my eye on the stream. I'm watching it from this phone while I'm battling with the phone you're watching the playback from right now. Yeah, we're good. And also Fern, shout out to Fern. Fern's an amazing person. I met Fern at the event as well. They ended up taking pictures for me. Ended up taking one of the best photos of the weekend for me. So major shout outs to Fern for sure. Fern was also in the audience and said if they come looking for me, that they will text me and I will run over there, which they did at one point, just to find out where we were. So in the middle of the battle, I had to run over and then run back, but we were good. We were good. So doing the challenge of the first battle, second battle I'm paired up against Pocket, against Out of Pocket, and I'm battling Pocket, right? I'm like not paying attention, and I'm still holding my own. Just want to throw that out there. I'm battling, and then in the moments I can, I'm also watching the stream, making sure that it's not time for me to go over there. And I wouldn't have won, but he did intentionally undercharge a Shadow Ball against my Annihilate, and in the end I end up winning because of it. It was all for fun and games. Because I had to leave in the middle of our first battle. Like, I finished our battle while walking to the stage. And because of that, that was just really funny. And as I got there, I finished up our battle. Like I said, I won, but it wasn't like a real win. He intentionally undercharged a Shadow Ball. But like I said, because of that, he got to win rounds 2 and 3, which is all just fun and games. So now it's time for me and Ash to face off on stream. Gotta go, Superboy. Have a great night. Have a great night. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Here it is. I'm already there. Let me see.
To end up being a
speaking of, Miss Dragonair is live. That's hilarious. That's what she meant by that. I thought she was going to just practice. She's live on Twitch practicing. That's really cool. Make sure you give her a follow. Everybody better have given her a follow.
And towards one away from a move.
I'm trying to find where we start. I'm in the general area.
But unfortunately, Sheener decided
shout out Superboy as well. Absolutely. Go give Superboy a follow.
And it was really interesting to see how Azuma. We are wrapping up day 1 battles.
Is this where we start? Maybe, possibly.
Is running a very interesting moveset choice here. We've seen game matchup is all of a sudden they might feel the course.
Let's cue this up. Let's watch. This is now
they initially thought, so they don't end up bringing it.
Losers semifinals for bracket D. Winner of this match goes on to day 2. Losers out of the game.
Corsola unfortunately was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, and that is all the mind games. That is the chess game that is going, the unseen chess game that is going on between 2 battlers up on the stage. There is a lot of pressure under those lights, and we have a lot more high-pressure games yet to play today. And
like I said, just to remind you real quick, I won my first battle. No, I won my first 2 battles at the challenge. It was during the 3rd battle, which was against Pocket, maybe. It was either I won the first one and then Pocket and then went on stream, or I won the first 2 and then Pocket went on stream. But the challenge is going on without me, because I got to get on this stage. The main event is so much more important than the challenge.
The losers bracket, for those of you just tuning in, we are wrapping up day 1 battles.
Oh, it paused. Oh, come on. Why? I didn't even touch the phone that time. This is why I tried to export everything ahead of time.
And it looks like we do have the 2 competitors who we are going to see here. It's going to be GoLeagueGregg, who's been on stream a couple times, versus a fan favorite in Ashton Ash.
Ashton Ash, a phenomenal battler, and an international champion runner-up, an international champion finalist.
I don't know why it's doing this. We only have so many more battles left. I don't know why it's doing this. Guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on with this thing.
for that like big glorious win that we want to see him have.
And on the loser side of the bracket, so
okay. No, what the fuck? Play.
You've got to get to Top Cut, and standing in his way is GoLeagueGregg, a trainer who honestly kind of made a name for himself right away from that first interview, talking about Annihilate. It's going to be big this weekend, and it's taken him this far. So Annihilate has put on quite a show so far.
It has. I don't know what more I could be doing. The phone's not overheating. The cords are all properly plugged in. I don't know what more I could be doing. It's like it's good, and then all of a sudden it's just not good.
Aston Ash is running a very interesting moveset choice here. We've seen a lot of Shadow Quagsire DeFi, but have we seen an Aqua Tail Mud Bomb Quagsire yet?
No. So what I'm thinking about the benefits of Mud Bomb. You get there a little bit quicker. Ground type damage, with even though Mud Slap is out of the game, it's not like ground type damage lost.
Okay, I just gotta point this out. I just have to say this because it's kind of funny. I didn't. I might have missed the fact that he was running Aqua Tail Mud Bomb. I might have, in those moments while going over my team sheets that was handed to me, I might have just looked past that entirely and not realized he was running Aqua Tail Mud Bomb because Altaria might have seen more play had I noticed that. That is nuts. I know. Yeah. It wasn't until I watched this back. I have to sneeze. Hold on. Oh my god. I hate allergies. I even took medicine. That's how bad it was. I normally don't take medicine. I even took medicine. But it's killing me. My one nostril, it stopped dripping. Thank you, Isari. Thank you for the blessings. Look, I'm going to cry. I'm just... The air is trying to kill me. Anyway. Yeah, it wasn't until I watched this back that they went, oh, Aqua Tail Mud Bomb. And I went, I'm sorry, what? What did you just say? He was running what now? Oh. Well, that changes things. And here's the best part. He never once threw the Mud Bomb. Not in any of our battles did he throw the Mud Bomb. So it wasn't even like, oh, where did that come from? I didn't know until I got home. Because Altaria would have probably came had I noticed that.
A lot
Let me see the teams
targets.
again.
There's still a lot of places for that damage to go, but are there any other benefits I'm not thinking
that's
of?
kind of a
Because
bad
Stone Edge,
on my
it's
end.
just so nice to have that heavy-hitting, guaranteed knockout.
What it would do is it would dramatically shore up your matchup into Pokemon like Empoleon.
Wigglytuff
Currently, the Empoleon Quagsire interaction
problem,
usually favors Empoleon as long as
Licky
there
is
aren't
as
a bunch of
well-ish.
shield in play, just because your Mud Shots don't do a lot, even though they're super effective, and your Charge Attack arsenal is entirely resisted. So you are basically...
All right, let's look at that for a second. How do I... Can I zoom in and... Come on. Come on. No, I can't. It's... What is it? Oh, I can pull this up. Standings. Fine. Ashton. Can I pull up his team at all? No, I can't. That's on Drakovich, right? Drakovich. How do I find someone on here? Player content? Player profiles. Search for a player. Ashton Ash. Okay. Galarian Corsola is a bit of a problem with the power gem, but nothing, like, that's not super threatening, right? It's super effective, but it doesn't hit as hard as, like, the Stone Edge, so it's not terribly problematic, but it is still something to look out for. Corviknight, yeah, I have the Flamethrower, and they have the Payback. Neither our fast attacks are doing anything to each other. It's the air cutters that are really going to add up there. Empoleon, same kind of thing. Basically a neutral matchup. Licky a little bit down. Quagsire, just a clean sweep. And then Wigglytuff is terrible for Altaria. Actually, knowing all of that, I think it would probably see an Altaria the same amount, which I think is 0. But I might have... No, I can't see anywhere where I would have actually brought it. Hi, Dink. Yeah. No. Probably not. Anyway, back to the battles.
Greg, Altaria doesn't want to see the Wigglytuff at all. Definitely wants to see the Quagsire matchup. Altaria is going to be pretty afraid of Licky as well.
No, we're just still doing the recap.
Corviknight also is a matchup that Altaria would very much enjoy seeing. So I think there are enough targets to at least make Greg consider the Altaria. Greg, in previous matchups against Corsola, tended to favor the Clefable, but there are 2 Pokemon that do a really nice job of shutting down Clefable with the double steal backbone of the team for Ashton Ash with the Corviknight and the Empoleon, so that it will probably force GoLeagueGregg to have to make some different decisions here, because it's a lot harder to rely on Clefable when 2/6 of the team walls your entire moveset.
Yeah, that is tough, and we saw GoLeagueGregg really do well with the Clefable earlier on stream, with Meteor Mash being in its move pool and really being able to do a lot of neutral damage across the board.
But unfortunately, adjustments have to be made based on the team of 6 that you're facing. And against this team, it's a lot more difficult to bring Clefable. Typically, the way that I like to take a look at teams when it comes to Clefable is how many resistances to Meteor Mash does your opponent have? Because Clefable is at its strongest when it can spam up Meteor Mash. Meteor Mash is an absurdly efficient charge attack, but with Quagsire, Empoleon, and Corviknight all having resistances to Meteor Mash, you really don't want to be in a spot where you're going up against a team that has a lot of Meteor Mash resistance, because that is your good pacing.
Ooh, our trainers are locked in, head down, looking at their battles, and we have an Empoleon mirror match to start off losers final in Group D. Which trainer is going to blink first? Who is going to win the charge attack priority?
Wow, GoLeagueGregg running a line that is incredibly soft to the Quagsire, but it pays off. The Quagsire is nowhere to be found, and instead, his Empoleon is going to be locked into an Empoleon mirror.
And we see that first Hydro Cannon get fired. GoLeagueGregg goes for one more Metal Sound before throwing, but we see Ashton Ash, it appears, wins the cap.
This guy's amazing. Ashton Ash is an amazing trainer.
Very, very strong.
I'm just joking around.
Honestly, it looks very strong everywhere into the team that Ashton Ash has brought without bringing the Corsola, without bringing the Quagsire. That Unova Stunfisk is basically unchecked across this team.
Yeah, Licky, that's tough too, because Licky loves being able to pressure with that rollout damage, and Unova Stunfisk just gets to kind of laugh that off.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Ashton Ash is anticipating that the Corviknight would be pretty free here. Oh, in comes Annihilate, trying to snipe it down, but this is low. This is not counter, so the Empoleon able to hang on, and now Corviknight does find the target that it was looking for in the Annihilate.
Yeah, Annihilate is going to start boosting up, but Rage Fist boosts don't do as much. They're not as impactful here because you're not boosting up your fast attack damage. You're just boosting up the next Rage Fist, essentially, doing a little bit of extra damage with those low kicks.
Air Cutter lands, no shield from the Annihilate, no boost comes through. Greg farms up to the close combat, and now Ashton Ash has to make a very difficult shield call. He's going to be calling it, no shield in the Rage Fist, and that is a big swing of momentum for Ashton Ash.
Ooh, so we see that attack, the automatic attack boost go through.
Good call.
This forces GoLeagueGregg to put up a Protect Shield if he wants to keep the, his Annihilate around. Can Corviknight get to another Air Cutter? Can Annihilate punch down? It can.
This is a huge problem for Ashton Ash. How do you get rid of the remaining HP on this Annihilate? In comes Licky. GoLeagueGregg should look to throw 4 low kicks, and the move goes for the close combat, but there's the catch onto the Annihilate.
Phenomenal catch.
You just asked how to get rid of an Annihilate, and I think we found the answer by letting it self-debuff. So GoLeagueGregg kind of forced to get rid of, like, to bring it back in to clear the debuff, bringing in the low health Empoleon. But since the rollout damage isn't doing too much here, GoLeagueGregg able to get to another Hydro Cannon.
And even if Licky does get this farm down here, that's still about 40% of its health bar lost already, and that's a big problem when Unova Stunfisk in the back is able to tank this energy so comfortably.
GoLeagueGregg waiting out the timer before bringing in Unovan Stunfisk. Ashton Ash, as soon as he saw what Pokemon it was, decided to press on that Shadow Ball. It's Ashton Ash and his Licky against the world here, and the fast attack damage doing nothing is really hurting Ashton Ash.
GoLeagueGregg opts for a discharge. Mud Bomb would do quite a bit more damage, so by discharging here, he does have a slight improvement in terms of pacing, but it does mean that he doesn't quite have that same ability to farm down with the Annihilate after, as if
I just want to get to that second move faster.
So an interesting choice there as we see one Shadow Ball go through. Each trainer has 1 Protect Shield remaining, going for just the Body Slam, hoping that it would be enough. GoLeagueGregg using his final Protect.
And by the way, here's my thought on this one, is that I thought that we CMP'd. And I threw the Rage Fist already. So at the point in which I continue to click my fast attack, since we didn't CMP and I didn't get the attack out, I just said, fuck it. I can't stop now. I just gotta power through.
GoLeagueGregg just gonna try and farm down, but he doesn't throw his energy, but with the low kicks that landed, instead. I believe this should be low enough for the Stunfisk just to get the Thundershock down.
A very much resisted Body Slam is just enough to knock out. Licky would need to get to a full Shadow Ball and just does not have enough gas in the tank to be able to push through. So GoLeagueGregg and the Unovan Stunfisk takes an early Game 1 victory here in the Losers Finals for Group D.
Ashton Ash ran a line that was very, very disrespectful of that Annihilate. The Annihilate was brought, and that proved to be a...
Want to drop a quick follow. Oh my gosh, there it is. There's a follow. Hold on, pause. NL... Gemby? I think NL Gemby. And if I'm saying that wrong, please type it phonetically in the chat so I can learn how to pronounce it. Thank you so much for being the newest follower on the stream. Got a first try. Let's go, NL Gemby. Thanks for being a first-time chatter. Thanks for being a brand new follower. We are so grateful for all our followers. Welcome on in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the community, supporting the channel, all the amazing things. We are so grateful for that. Thank you for being here. We're just finishing up our recap of Houston. There's only 3 matches left, so yeah, thank you.
GoLeagueGregg ran a line that kind of disrespected that Mud Bomb Quagsire, but wasn't punished. The Quagsire was not brought. So now the question is, does Ashton Ash try and bring the Quagsire? And if you're Greg, do you try and cover for that by potentially bringing the Altaria or trying to bring that Furret?
We can see in the replay that the Corviknight did find its intended target in Annihilate, but Annihilate, by boosting up that Rage Fist, was able to eventually low kick down.
And that Annihilate, even with such little hit points remaining, still proved to be an absolute nuisance to deal with. Licky, all the energy in the world, but Stunfisk is just so bulky. Shadow Ball after Shadow Ball connecting, and it just simply did not matter.
Hey, thank you for following the run.
Taking a look at that Body Slam, even though it is such a resisted attack.
But next weekend,
type Annihilate,
I'll be in Orlando.
Just enough to knock out Lickitung, just
follow
not
that
having
run.
enough HP.
I'm going all the way
to be able to get to the Shadow Ball it's so desperately needed. Our trainers, they are locked in, they are ready. GoLeagueGregg, 1 more win, and he can go into the tournament tomorrow. If Ashton Ash loses here, he is out. And we have Furret into Corviknight. Have we
Thanks, buddy.
seen
I really appreciate that.
GoLeagueGregg's Furret yet today?
I don't know if we have, but Furret This is not where it wanted to be. Safe switch into the Empoleon. Empoleon is down a ton of energy. Ash could very well decide to stay in here because Ash does have the
I thought he was going
to
to lead Corsola.
the Furret. So by
Furret
landing
wanted
the
that
payback,
Corsola.
this now gives him the ability to just try and stay on the field because Hydro Cannon, it does just under half to the Corviknight, but this Corviknight is at about 80% HP. So for Ash, this is kind of a free sign to stay in, win alignment, and then put Furret on that Wigglytuff later on.
And we can see just how impactful those sand attacks are, just to be able to chip down at the Empoleon enough that some of these smaller attacks will threaten shielding that big, heavy payback move.
Ash going to be matching shields. He would love to try and get a sand attack down, exit with a lot of energy as a payback does hit hard onto anything that could be lurking in the back. He's going to go for it here, and he will get this sand attack down. It's going to be close, but GoLeagueGregg does not get the move.
And GoLeagueGregg has
it's a lot
to
of fun.
decide
Welcome back to the
where do
scene.
I want this energy. And actually doesn't go for a quick attack down here, or doesn't go for a fast attack down, goes for a Trailblaze instead to secure the knockout and boost the remaining attacks. But the Furret Sucker Punches are going to do absolutely nothing into Wigglytuff. So really that Trailblaze, the benefit of it is just boosting the charge attacks, boosting the Swifts coming from the Furret.
Yeah, GoLeagueGregg now gets to do quite a lot of damage with the Swift. Ash going to opt for the pacing play. He knows that if the shield comes up from the Furret, he's going to be shielding back anyway because he's the Corsola in the back, so he may as well go for the cheaper move, so that way he has a better chance to try and outpace and make it to his own Swift. So shield comes up from GoLeagueGregg. Ash going to look to match, as he's going to look to try and remove the Furret, because once Furret is gone, Corsola should be in a very good spot to close out the match.
Yeah, that Corsola is looking so good in the back, but
and here I tried to catch, I just didn't.
And it is about
if I had caught, I would have had a little bit better of a chance. But
Swift is going to knock this Furret out of the game. Annihilate comes in, and Ash says, "Hello, Galarian."
And I throw him bad timing here.
Full Astonish goes through Annihilate, trying to boost itself up with the Rage Fist, but with that Astonish sneak, I believe the Corsola will now be able to outpace. Rage Fist lands that super effective damage, but with that sneak, Corsola gets the outpace, makes the Nightshade, takes the knockout, and gets Ash the much-needed equalizer.
We will be going into a decisive game number 3, battlers. I am so excited. GoLeagueGregg conceding good battle, and yes, it was.
I really liked the decision-making there from Ash. GoLeagueGregg banked to energy, which I thought was a very, very nice play, but Ash realized I have 2 answers to this in the back. I am still outside of a range where Hydro Cannon plus Metal Sounds will ever knock me out. So I can no shield on that Corviknight, and then just stay in, win switch advantage, and then that way Furret never gets to see that Corsola, because Corsola, if it can avoid that Furret, is very, very strong across the board.
Yeah, it looks great because GoLeagueGregg has the Clefable, not the Wigglytuff, as his fairy type of choice, giving Corsola an additional target.
And no catch coming out here from GoLeagueGregg. The Furret just getting knocked out, and that just set up the Corsola. Ash didn't immediately pivot into the Corsola. Had he pivoted immediately, he would have always outpaced, but then GoLeagueGregg ended up firing off this Rage Fist, and it let through a Free Astonish, and that right there, the Free Astonish sneak is what allowed the Corsola to outpace. Like, a good Corsola should still survive the +1 Rage Fist there, but it made the game a little bit unnecessarily close.
It was a little close, but Ash did come out victorious, evening the score 1-1. The winner of this battle is going on to compete in the tournament tomorrow. The loser is defeated and ends their tournament run today. Both trainers breathing a bit of a sigh, thinking through their options.
They know the pressure. They know the moment is here. Every trainer competing at this tournament, the goal is to make day 2, because once you make day 2, it's anyone's game. Someone can go on a run and get hot at the right moment and like surge to victory from the loose side of the bracket, but you have to get there. And that all starts with winning this final game.
Trainers locking in, making their final decision. You can see them both really thinking things through, playing through all those different scenarios in your mind. GoLeagueGregg winning that first battle with the Empoleon lead, losing when he chose to bring the Furret in. Ash being able to take the victory once he brought that Wigglytuff and Corsola. The Corviknight has stayed consistent for him.
The Corviknight, it just proves to be a very neutral presence across so many matchups. Unfortunately, in this particular matchup, with Altaria and Stunfisk being very effective answers, and with an Annihilate, if it can get up a little bit of energy, making life difficult as well, it's a little bit less safe than it is in a lot of scenarios. That's part of why Corviknight usage is so high, because in a lot of matchups, you can kind of count on it to be a very effective tool for repositioning.
Good. I noticed that.
Because it's just so bulky. We've seen that Corviknight bulk in many games today. Will we see it again here? What we're starting off with is a fantastic lead for GoLeagueGregg in this decisive game number 3. Annihilate into Empoleon. Ash forced to put in a Shadow Quagsire safe swap.
At Shadow Quagsire, there is no answer in the...
Okay. I was doing a lot of team reading here. I was doing a lot of predicting. I was doing a lot of, like, figuring out what he was going to bring. I had to make sure I got this lineup perfectly. And I, after looking at all the numbers and what he brought and what he think I was going to bring and what he thinks that I think he's going to bring, so what he's going to bring because of what he thought of what I thought that he thought, that we both thought, I was confident that he was going, that he wasn't going to lead Corsola, first of all. That he wasn't going to lead Wigglytuff either. There was most likely going to lead Empoleon or Quagsire, but I was leaning towards Empoleon. I was like, Annihilate. I usually have him in the back. He's not going to expect it in the front. Put it in the front. I'm going to win this one. I have to get the right team composition here. I have to win the starting match. I have to win the initial matchup. I locked the fuck in.
Back for GoLeagueGregg.
Decisive game number 3, Annihilate into Empoleon. Ash forced to put in a Shadow Quagsire safe swap.
At Shadow Quagsire, there is no answer in the back for GoLeagueGregg. GoLeagueGregg is so weak in the back to the Quagsire. He's going to have to stay in with the Annihilate. Aqua Tail lands. Annihilate farms up to the close combat, but is going to go for a Rage Fist bait.
And because it was the swap, that Shadow Quagsire is even going to have more energy, but we see the Rage Fist bait. Unfortunately, Ash did choose to shield that up, and that makes sense. A lot of trainers would throw close combat there.
That is unfortunate. Ash playing to a charge stack priority tie that he does not win. +1 Rage Fist is going to connect. And Ash, if this Quagsire gets removed from the field of play, how is he ever going to defeat that Stunfisk?
That is going to be tough. So Ash needs the Quagsire. He just doesn't know it yet. And even if the Quagsire survives this, it's too low of health now. That Unova Stunfisk is going to just completely wreck shop later on.
He aggressively pivots into the Corviknight. GoLeagueGregg gonna go for a double boosted close combat. Shield comes up from Ash. GoLeagueGregg can choose to save the Annihilate here and pivot into the Stunfisk, but no, he's saving the Stunfisk and he's saving the Empoleon instead.
And that is an interesting play. We're going to see if it pays off.
I want to keep my Stunfisk. I know that it can take down the rest of Corviknight. I know Corviknight's going to take down my... Did everything pause? I mean, they did pause. What the hell just happened? That was weird. Everything paused like that. Here's thing 2. Over. It's this one. That was really weird.
Close combat. Shield comes up from...
Okay, I think we're good now. As I was saying.
To just completely wreck shop later on.
The close combat.
He aggressively pivots into the Corviknight. GoLeagueGregg gonna go for a double boosted close combat. Shield comes up from Ash.
GoLeagueGregg
can choose to save the Annihilate here and pivot into the Stunfisk. But no, he's saving the Stunfisk and he's saving the Empoleon instead.
That is an interesting play. We're going to see if it pays off for him. Ash being able to full send the payback with no protect shields remaining.
Farm down whatever's left of whichever Pokemon stays in.
Payback lands. That is critical damage onto the
and have enough charge attacks to take out the other one.
5 sand attacks plus an air cutter would be enough to secure the knockout here because he needs to be able to outpace this Hydro Cannon, or his Corviknight is just getting knocked out.
So we see him carefully counting, making sure that another Hydro Cannon cannot possibly land. But will this air cutter be enough? This Empoleon still has a chunk of health. It's not enough.
Oh,
rank
nice
1.
Catch out of the
Rank 1
Quagsire, able to
Empoleon.
Reserve that Corviknight for later.
And he
This
caught
will
on the
give
Quagsire.
a slight energy head start to Empoleon. And Empoleon being up a turn in that Stunfisk matchup is actually beneficial.
Here's also what helps me out is he goes
Protect
to
Shields in play, and Mud
Corviknight
Bomb
here.
damage would be catastrophic. GoLeagueGregg waiting it down. In comes the Corviknight.
This allows me to
He
get a
didn't bring in the
huge
Empoleon,
farm
but now this is Stunfisk's opportunity to shine.
So Stunfisk being able to throw those super effective discharges.
Get rid of
and there's
that
no
Corviknight.
shields remaining. Ash and Ash
Can't get
have
the payback, and now I can
opportunity
just
for a
one-on-one
catch due
straight
to that
up
switch timer.
Stunfisk
so
versus
now we are
Empoleon.
going to just see this
I know we're not going to lose to 1.
run
I know we're going
amok.
to outpace
Unova
to 2.
Stunfisk makes the
We throw in
discharge.
good
That
timing.
is critical damage landing onto the Empoleon. And to make matters worse, the Stunfisk is not in Hydro Cannon range. It's super effective damage, but it's just simply not going to matter. Ashton Ash continues to farm, but there is just no way out here. Plays
He had
the charge
both.
deck priority. He
He
needs
needed
this to
both.
knock out,
We
but
see him
Unova
peak.
Stunfisk is very bulky and should survive.
Ash and Ash looking up, saying, shaking his head no, knowing that Unovan Stunfisk is too tanky. The flat little pancake could. GoLeagueGregg secures his victory, secures day number 2.
You can see the emotion hitting GoLeagueGregg. He's done it.
You can hear them in the
Taking down
background.
one of North America's finest.
Thank you
He's
for the
moving
blessing.
on to Top Cut.
This is the end.
Good pause. W pause. You can hear in the background Ogun and I think Phoenix the boss and a couple of the people very ecstatically cheering that we did it. We made it. We beat Ashton Ash, who again, everyone was like, ooh, good luck. Hope you had fun because it's basically over. And made it on to day 2 for the very first time in losers bracket for Group D. Look at that guy. That guy just won. He's about to do something that's going to make the greatest photo for the weekend, too.
The road for Ash and Ash today.
Right
but
there.
We know it's not the end of the road forever. Ash and Ash, an incredible battler, a fan favorite.
There he
We
is.
hope to see many
king.
more tournament runs from Ash and Ash.
I will be honest, I was expecting to see a lot more Annihilate in day 2 than Metacham, but it's definitely been the reverse. It has been Metacham after Metacham, so we do get an Annihilate sneaking into Top Cut as well.
One did
And the
sneak
pacing,
through.
the speed on that Annihilate just absolutely ran away with those games.
Taking a look back at this final matchup, Ash and Ash just losing the Quagsire early on just really set him up for defeat, and GoLeagueGregg was able to position this Unovan Stunfisk to completely, I can't say it ran away with it, maybe it just kind of like flopped away with it at the end of the game.
That was a very tough spot for Ashton Ash. Ashton Ash brought the Corsola game 2, and the Corsola was game winning, but benched it game 3, and unfortunately, Corsola was triple strong into that line. None of those Pokemon from GoLeagueGregg would have wanted to see that Pokemon, but by benching the Corsola, it made that Stunfisk just incredibly strong once Quagsire was out of the way.
And we are going to see here Unovan Stunfisk being able to just do devastating damage with discharge, just hitting very hard, and then going for the discharge one more time. This Hydro Cannon, Ash and Ash, you can see him shaking his head, just knowing it's not going to be quite enough.
The shiny Stunfisk hanging on for GoLeagueGregg, punching his ticket to day number 2. And you gotta love when you can see how much it means for these trainers, the deep breath, the emotion hitting. You're on to your first Top Cut.
So congratulations to GoLeagueGregg.
It was
We
really
are
crazy.
excited to see GoLeagueGregg continue forward with that.
Hi, Dink. It was very emotional. It was very... I'm so glad that we made it. A huge sigh of relief. But that is where day 1 ends. We can go back to having the phone cover up because now we get back to the told story. So I finished up with that battle. I head on over to... I'm like, hey, do you guys need anything from me? Is there anything else that's required of me? Like, am I doing another interview? The prophecy unfolded as was foretold. I said it was going to be a good weekend. I called it from the beginning, and guess what? It was a great weekend. I'm on my first ever day 2. Greg, in fact, locked in. Absolutely. So, now, hold on. This is important. Sorry, I had to answer that really quick. All right. Not to interrupt, but I just got legend. Let's go! Dink just hit... You said legend? Dude, I'm not even a veteran yet. Let's go, Dink! That's insane. Congratulations, dude. Let's go, Dink! That's awesome. You were there? You were there. You absolutely were there. Oh, I believed you, too. I 100% believed you. You'll hit it soon, I'm sure. Anyway, so... I had something. I was saying something for sure. Day 2 secured. Very first day 2. I'm super excited. But the challenge is still going on. So now that we're done, I asked, do you need me for like another interview? Do you need me for anything else? Like, no, you're good to go. You already did one interview. I got to get going. Right? I got a challenge still going on. I run back over to the challenge, and I get there, and I've already lost the first battle of my third match. Or my fourth match. One of the two. Right? I'm either 2-1 right now, and I lost the first battle because I timed out of the first battle, or I'm 1-1 and I've timed out. Either way, that's what's happening right now. Hold on. Oh, these allergies are fucking ridiculous. So, I sit down. I'm like, hey, I'm here. I'm here. I win the first battle, but I do end up losing the second battle. So I go 2-1, or 1-2 rather, in that set. And I think what happened was I was 1-1, that maybe then 1-2, right? And everyone's like, oh, hey, you're back over here. I guess it means you lost. So sorry, you'll get them next time. I was like, no, I won. I'm on a day 2. I wanted to finish this. I signed up for this. I paid for it. I want to finish it. I then win my next battle, so I'm 2-2. And then my third battle is against Arrow, and I win that one, so I'm 3-2. In doing so, I end up top cutting in the challenge, of which I missed a whole battle for, or a whole matchup for, because I was too busy on stage making it to day 2 in the main event. But then I top cut in the challenge, and I thought it was so funny. Pocket was just blown out of his mind about that one. He just kept saying that there was absolute cinema, that I could watch the stream while battling him, go run to the stage, do my battles, win my battles, run back to the challenge, and win enough battles to top cut. Absolute cinema was the phrase for that challenge, as to how impressed everyone was that I was able to do both. And I was also very impressed. That was crazy. I ended up losing my first round against Pizza, but it was still awesome to even top cut. Okay, so now it's time to, like, we thought we locked in before. We have to lock the fuck in now. So we leave. We go back to the room. No, we go get dinner, right? You were gone for sure. Oh man, absolutely. We leave. Me, Dink, Will, and Arrow go to dinner. We go to this amazing seafood place. After dinner, we go back to the hotel. We drop our stuff. Decimal Viper put together a karaoke night. Will and I go to the karaoke night. Dink stays behind and does scrims with Isari and Overlord Raikou to help him prepare for day 2 while I'm gone. I'm gone for maybe an hour, right? At this karaoke, by the way, is my opponent for the next day, Shadow Brandino. He's just there, which I think is really funny. And I'm like, hey man, how's it going? Nice to meet you. Can't wait for a battle tomorrow. Can I buy you a drink? Can I buy you like 10 drinks? All the drinks are on me tonight, right? Joking, of course, but it was very funny. We hang out, we laugh, we sing. Ogun's there. Phoenix the Boss is there. His girl's there. Will's obviously there. Decimal Viper's there. We're having a good time. I'm only there for an hour. I want to get back. I want to shower. I want to do some scrims as well. And so we do all that. I go back to the room. I shower. I'm ready. It's my turn to scrim. And we're putting up Shadow Brandino's team, and we're practicing. And we come to the same conclusion. Well, we all come to the same conclusion at one point. Of his team, which let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Hold on, it's loading. Player content, player profiles. Shadow. Brandino. His team is Abomasnow, Annihilate, Shadow Charizard, Jellicent, Galarian Stunfisk, and Wigglytuff. And we do a bunch of scrims, his team versus my team. And we find out that Galarian Stunfisk and Jellicent is such a wall to my team that if he brings those two Pokemon every time, unless I get perfect alignment, I am basically cooked. So I'm sweating this thing. I am very nervous. I have to just hope for the right lead. We figure out the odds on what the team lineup's going to be and what the leads are going to be. But I need Annihilate to that Stunfisk. I need Furret to the Jellicent, and I need neither of them to find the Wigglytuff. I also need Furret to not find the Annihilate. Yeah. Or vice versa. I need Jellicent to not find Annihilate. I just need a lot of very specific things. And I'm not in for a good time. Now, let me see if I can get these airdropped on over. I'm hoping so. Actually, I know where I can pull it up. Let's see if I can do this real quick. Hang tight, hang tight. I should be able to do this. Let's see if this works. So yeah, we have the next day. We have breakfast. We get on over to the stadium. Something really cool happens that I can't really talk about just yet. I'm excited to share it with you guys eventually soon. We'll see, hopefully. Hopefully we'll see if it comes to fruition. Alright, cool. It's going to play like that. That's fine. Transform, edit transformation. Let's crop this a bit. Let's crop this a lot a bit. Actually, wait, can I turn this sideways? Would that be helpful? Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Wonderful. Okay. In just a second, there's a different phone with a different system, different everything. I'm going to leave it there because there's a little bit of like a drift of the frame. Shout out to Isari. He's the one who recorded this for us. Very nice of him. Everyone say thank you. Without him, we wouldn't have these battles. But these are battles you have not seen yet. This is losers round 1 for day 2. Now, when it comes to losers for day 2, the first battle is not streamed, right? Losers round 1 for day 2 is not on stream. All of the winners battles and everything losers past round 1 for day 2 is all on stream. So this is top 16. It's going to be narrowed down to top 12. But those 4 people being eliminated will not be eliminated on camera. Come on. Almost there. All right. Beautiful. Let's put this into the right size. about there, right about here. That's about centered, right? That's pretty good. Okay, here we go. I'm also going to, Isari, your call. Should I mute this? No, I didn't say that. Should I mute these? I listened to it. You didn't say anything bad. You're commentating, and I think it's pretty funny. It's also good notes. But you said to drop out the audio when you handed me the phone back. So your call, muted or unmuted, of your casting of these battles. You can do it with or without audio. With audio. You got it, buddy. Okay. So we're going to hear Isari's commentating on this while you're seeing these battles for the first time. So again, here's my mindset is. He's going to bring Stunfisk and Jelly every time, which means I have to bring Annihilate and Jelly every time. And then my best bet from there is against the odds are then he's going to bring Wigglytuff or Abomasnow, or maybe even Charizard. I don't know. Annihilate's, his own Annihilate's a little bit of a wild card. So his odds against, things like my Annihilate and my Furret and my Altaria, all say you should probably bring Wigglytuff as well. So I'm thinking Stunfisk, Jelly, Wigglytuff. I'm thinking lead Stunfisk. It wins everything except for Annihilate, right? So I'm thinking he's going to lead Stunfisk, because even if he leads Stunfisk and I lead Annihilate, he should have two answers for Annihilate in the back, Jelly and Wigglytuff. So it's a safe play for him, even though it's the bad play, to bring Stunfisk in the lead and then be able to swap with two answers to Annihilate. So even if you swap, you can still win swap and realign everything. That is the whole plan we're thinking, which is why I lead Annihilate the first battle. Here's what actually happened.
Commence. Here we go. Annihilate into Wigglytuff. This is horrible for GoLeagueGregg. What will he do now? He goes into his Empoleon. Shadow Brandino comes into his...
So instead of bringing Stunfisk Jelly, I am now very aware that he has brought maybe one of them, but not both of them. And I am blown away. I am so certain that he did the same research I did last night and came to the same results. So I am just out of my mind that I'm seeing here not one of those two Pokemon. Right? Lead Wiggly, switch to Annihilate. The fact that Annihilate's on this team at all right now, when it should have just been Wiggly, Stunfisk, Jelly, is throwing me for such a loop that I have to rethink my entire way I'm going to play this game due to the fact that I'm so locked in on the Jelly Stunfisk core. But right now we're not doing so good. We have the worst possible lead matchup, and then the swap is also terrible for us.
Zone 8. This is starting to look kind of bad for GoLeagueGregg. No cap. Come on, Greg. Lock in, buddy.
Tropex out, which is good. I need to win swap here.
Okay, we get both shields.
Now, I should have taken the first one, knowing that the second one was coming through. But the reason I didn't is because the first one could have been a close combat, and that would have ruined everything. So he had me in a good spot there, where I was either going to shield the weaker Rage Fist, or not shield the killing close combat, and I was kind of in a bad spot either way. this was the best of the worst case scenarios for those two things. But also, now I can count and safely say this is going to be a Rage Fist, which I can take, but I wish I'd taken the first one, but taking the first one would be too big of a gamble.
I don't hate this. Gotta get rid of this. Keep alignment.
Well, and you're...
No, keep alignment. Don't swap. Please do not
So now
swap.
shield's down, and I get alignment. This is beautiful. There he is, the Stunfisk. The Stunfisk I was expecting the whole time in the lead. Now, Annihilate's great for this. That's why we let Annihilate. But we have 0 answers into Wiggly. At least decent answers, right? Fortunately, shields are down. Swifts are going to be good from Furret. But those fast attacks Sucker Punches are going to do nothing from Furret. And on top of that, those charms are going to start taking absolute chunks out of my Annihilate. I am still in a very, very bad spot, and I have few win cons. I have to lock in if I want to find my win con and make it to the second match with a win up.
Exactly what you want.
Here comes the Earthquake. It's gonna hurt. I don't have any shields. I just gotta keep playing on my toes.
For the Wiggly. Swap.
Save all that energy. I'm gonna need it. It's my only win con. I let a charm through. Bad timing. But it's good to get this Swift off before the Icy Wind comes in. A -1 Swift is not going to be enough. Especially 2 -1s. 2... Yeah. And 2 minus anything Swifts. If he gets out another one. This time I can throw in good timing. But still, that Icy Wind is causing it to where I'm now at a disadvantage. That's not going to knock out. It's not going to be enough. And he is knocking on the door of that that next attack. But he wants to make sure he saves energy. The reason he throws here is not that he didn't know timing. The reason he threw here is because he didn't want to take any more damage from the Furret. He knew that my only win con was to throw the Rage Fist and then throw the close combat. So he needed to make sure that his Wigglytuff was not in range of the Rage Fist knocking out. The double resisted Rage Fist. So he threw this Swift because he didn't want to take any more damage. He knew that he was going to win the CMP, right? I was going to win Cap Tie on my Annihilate. And every little last ounce of Sucker Punch that my Furret is throwing through and hitting on his Wigglytuff is better chances that my Rage Fist is going to knock out. Him throwing the Swift here was the right play.
Oh,
I can still get out 1 low kick, because a 2-turn move versus a 3-turn move, right? So 1 low kick to just get that little extra health off, because I'm telling you, my only win con is a double resisted Rage Fist, non-boosted, to knock out this Wigglytuff.
We need this to KO, bro. We absolutely need this to KO, bro. Okay.
And he does.
Let's freaking
and a
go.
+1 close combat, super effective against the Galarian Stunfisk, is just enough to take down the Pokemon. My Annihilate lives on 1 HP, and that is why I ran the rank 1 Annihilate instead of the attack weighted Annihilate that a lot of people were running. I needed all those extra HPs for the way that I play this game. Everyone plays it a little differently. The way I play best is with my rank 1s and my own little strategies. It took me far enough. I did well enough in last competition to prove that I know what I'm doing and how to play this in my own way. But I needed every last ounce of HP to win that battle. That was so critical. 1 HP in a dream. The Annihilate bleeding into Wigglytuff found a way to still take out the Wigglytuff and find the Stunfisk I was looking for to close combat at a +1 and win the game with 1 HP. I'm literally shaking at this moment. I'm telling you, I'm shaking like this. I'm like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, I can't believe I won that one. But now he has to know. Now he has to know that I know about the Stunfisk Jelly. He has to be running Stunfisk Jelly for the rest of the games. The other 2 games, Stunfisk Jelly, I'm not out of this yet, and I have to figure something out. So, here's my thought now. My thought process going to the next battle is this. I lead Empoleon. There's 2 outcomes I see as a possibility. Here are the 2 outcomes. Outcome number 1 is that he leads the Stunfisk like I think he's going to, and although it's not the most ideal matchup, it's still one that we can kind of power through, right? Depending on how we want to play it out. Oh, I know what the thought was, is that either A, when he gets to his Earthquake, he's going to throw the Earthquake, and I'm not going to shield. It's going to one-shot my Empoleon, and I can get over to Annihilate, and I can start farming this thing down. And if he has to swap, him swapping is my win cons, right? Him being locked into a timer are all of my win cons. So I say there's 2 options here. He's either going to lead the... there's only 2 options here with the Stunfisk lead into my Empoleon. He is going to throw the Earthquake, and I'm going to get that swap pressure that I need. Or he's not going to throw the Earthquake. I'm going to call the Rock Slide bait, and from there I can win this matchup with Empoleon. Right? That's my thought right there. The other options I'm thinking is he goes back to leading Wigglytuff again. If he leads Wigglytuff again, Empoleon and Wigglytuff is exactly where I want Empoleon to be, and when he swaps once more, I am back to swaps being my best chance at winning this impossible core against my team of Galarian, Stunfisk, and Jellicent. That is where my brain is. I say I'm leading Empoleon, I'm going to have Annihilate in the back, and I'm still going to have Furret, because I need those 2 Pokemon for the Stunfisk Jelly core. I have to get alignment right. This is all about getting the right alignment at this point. So that's my strategy. Let me show you what actually happened.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Right.
Here's what actually happened.
Game 2 about to commence.
Yeah.
Ooh,
You're seeing that, right? I lead Empoleon, and he's leading Annihilate. Again, he chooses the best Pokemon, the absolute best Pokemon, to lead into my lead. I'm once again in an uphill battle in what should be already an impossible battle of Stunfisk, Jellicent core. Let's watch how it plays out.
So bad again.
So at this moment, I'm like, I can't afford to swap. If I swap, if I'm swapping the timers in alignment, I lose immediately. I lose immediately if he has the core in the back that he should. Stunfisk, Jellicent. Again, I have to shield in fear that it's a close combat. Same thing as the last round. The difference here is that I don't have the extra
That was
swings.
a tough shield call, bro.
I'm not energy
on that
up.
one. He had so much energy. He catches on Jellicent, which is fine.
Here's what really
Yeah, this is fine.
Here's what really starts to help me out. Is that he swapped.
This is so,
Now
yeah,
Fur can
we're
come
chilling.
in. Now Fur can come in
We're
and we can start
chilling,
getting this
baby.
shit on. We can get the alignment that we needed.
No, you're fine, boss.
Throw on the right
I don't
timing.
hate this either.
Let's get the jelly out of the way. I don't want any swaps back. I don't want him stuck in the back, right? The main reason is I'm saying, 1, I don't want to take more damage, and 2, and more importantly, I do not want the switch timers to come up and for him to swap that thing out. I need to keep Jelly right here. Jelly, Furret. Furret's the only answer to Jelly, and I I can't let this go. I can make the rest work, especially thinking that the core is there. Stunfisk, Jellicent, and I have Annihilate in the back. So thinking that the core is there, that's what I'm working with right now, I can align these. If I win swap alignment, I win the whole thing. That's all I need to do. So yeah, I'm throwing the Trailblaze. I am not giving him a chance to swap back out again.
True.
Also might catch a shield here, but I didn't, which is fine. We're still even shield.
Some neutral sucker punches, though. They're chunking. They're chunking.
We're chunking. That's right, SRE. We are chunking.
I don't think it'll happen.
And there we go.
Oh, he lets it go.
Now it's a 3-on-1. And I find out it's Wigglytuff.
This is...
What do you mean it's Wigglytuff? Where's the Stunfisk? That was the core. We did all this work to find out that was the core. We did all this work, and I've been sitting with anxiety since like 1 o'clock in the morning when we were done with our scrims, thinking, oh my god, how am I going to beat this impossible core? Where's the Stunfisk? It's just not there. But now it's Jelly instead, and I have Annihilate in the back. He keeps getting these great alignments to my Pokemon because I'm playing a game, I'm playing a match that I think I know the team, and I clearly don't. Ah, not the Jelly. Not the Wiggly, I mean. My only chance in the ones versus the zeros is to swap into Annihilate. Swap Annihilate into
He has to
Wigglytuff.
Rage Fist into the close combat now.
But it's our only shot.
Think so?
Now that I'm -1, my only chance to knock out with a close combat is to throw a Rage Fist on good timing, get back to neutral, and then throw the close combat before he gets to another Icy Wind.
2, actually. Let's go.
And once again,
Let's
on
go,
almost
dude.
1 HP, Annihilate takes out
Let's
the
freaking
Wigglytuff.
go,
And we
Greg.
win the 2-0
Yes, sir.
against Shadow Brandino in what should have been our most difficult and most impossible matches of the whole tournament. The other ones that I lose due to poor decisions on my end or unfortunate matchups. This was undoubtedly going to be the toughest battles. I had the worst possible alignments in our lead Pokemon going into this, and I still somehow managed to get the 2-0. Insane. You can probably see it if it lets me show you. You could probably see it, but I am shaking. I am actually shaking here. I gotta do that for the camera, but I'm doing this on the other end. I'm handing over like the slip to the lady like this. I'm shaking his hand like this. My adrenaline is through the roof. I have to sneeze again. I might have to sneeze a second time, but I'm good for now. I am so stressed out. We play this game for fun. I am so stressed out. Thank you, sir. And I cannot believe I 2-0'd that. I for sure was ready for the hardest battles, and they were some of the hardest battles I went up against. Absolutely. But I never saw that core. And I think that was my saving grace. Holy shit. So, let's cover that back up. Let's get this back out of here. Let's plug in the other phone. Let's head on over to the day 2 stuff. So now I got a little bit of time, and I decided to just sit down and watch the battles. I'm signed up for the Cup, but I'm not going to participate in the Cup. Because I need to focus. I need to absolutely focus on what I'm doing. I need to focus on the battles happening here. I need to focus on the matchups coming up. I need to focus on a lot of things. Where's that battle? Is it before or after? It's before. Okay. Absolutely goated. Rose Gold TR, thank you so much. It was definitely a challenge, to say the least. But we did it. Right? Oh, so I sit down, I watch the battles. Isari, so it's Dune versus Jello, which I play the loser of that. So I watched that battle, obviously. After that, it's Isari versus, who was it, Rise? Was it Rise that knocked you out? Which one was it, Isari? I don't remember. Who'd you play in the winners? You played Elam. Right. So you played Elam in the winners. So you versus Elam next. And then after that, it was me versus Jello Too Good. Right? In the losers bracket from there. Okay. Get to the part where it's our battles. Hold on. So I watch, no, you're good. I'm sorry. I watch, Isari do his battles. I get ready for my battles. Oh, stressful. Stressful stuff for sure. But here we go. Let's put that back on the screen. Oh, wrong one. This is on deactivate, we're not showing, sorry. Okay, cool. You say what? I say yes. Oh, still can't believe I won those battles. I am still shaking, I'm still freaking out. But I'm here. Let's go. I just have to beat Jello Too Good, right? If I could beat Jello, then let me see. Where does it take us to? Let me go to the final stage over here on challenge. If I can beat Jello, then I'm on to losers round 3. And I'll be halfway through the day, right? I have to win 6 battles in a row to win the whole thing. It's my only shot. So I got to win these, right? So far I'm only 1 in. I still have 5 more to go. Next one's versus Jello Too Good. Here we go.
Welcome back, trainers, to Houston, Texas, where we have our regional championships, and we are in day 2. We are having such a beautiful time. The sun is shining. We're here. We're in our element. We're having a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. Moisturized, flourishing in our lane, thriving, I would say. And we're gonna keep the action going, everybody, because we're gonna see Jello Too Good facing off against
I love that Speedy knows that meme
GoLeagueGregg,
reference.
2 very talented trainers, and we've seen the Dune Bugs, we've seen the Rises and the Axons. How about some trainers that are carving out their own names in Championship Series history? That's Jello and GoLeagueGregg, and they're doing it with the powerful picks of Chargebug and Clefable.
Yeah, I mean, these are definitely Pokemon that are a little bit off kilter, but I wouldn't say they're not meta eligible. They're definitely on the fringe, though. They're on the edges.
And when I was watching this and I was looking at it, I felt good about this matchup. I felt good about the team compositions. I felt good about my my type advantages versus his type advantages. I was looking at it and I'm feeling good, but I knew he was a good player and I still had to lock in. These end up being some pretty good battles.
seeing here also a Stunfisk, one of my favorites. We're seeing that Charge Bug. We're seeing the Guzzlord. We're seeing the Corviknight, a different steel type than the usual Fortress. But actually, both the trainers are ready to go. They're locked in. So we're going to get started right away into game one. Speedy, take it away.
Stunfisk looked insane for Greg in this matchup, and I think he realizes that leading his best Pokemon in this battle number 1 on loser's side bracket. It's leading into the Wigglytuff, though. That Icy Wind will be super effective, but the pacing advantage has got to be on the right side of the screen.
Yeah, getting to this charge attack right before that Icy Wind is eligible to be thrown is always a great play. You want to throw your charge attacks before you get your attack drop, and it is a super effective Icy Wind incoming.
So I'm going to slide
Greg actually
forgoes
forgoes the shield here to start up the battle. A lot of the time when a trainer recognizes they have one Pokemon that really stands out in a matchup, they're more willing to protect shielded. But we saw Greg in day number 1 lean on that Annihilate as well. Don't forget about that Pokemon. He might do that in this series too.
Yeah, I'm thinking GoLeagueGregg might be able to get to another charge attack on good timing just before.
Here's where I fucked up for the first time. I have this problem, and I make this problem, I make this mistake often, is that they switched, and I want extra time to think, so I'm going to throw an attack. Wrong. I need to get out of that habit. I've gotten better at that, but I still make that mistake sometimes if I'm under a lot of pressure. What I should have done here is banked all of this energy and switched to Clefable. The odds of him bringing Charjabug, by the way, Charjabug was like his worst Pokemon into my team. So I almost counted out Charjabug. Everyone else that he has, who else does he have? Hold on. His other Pokemon are, let me see, Jello. Pulling it up. It's Charjabug, who really didn't have a lot of play in my team. Corviknight, so again, Stunfisk is pretty good here. Would have rather had Stunfisk for Corviknight than Annihilate, but Annihilate's not terrible. Empoleon, we want Annihilate. Guzzlord, we want Annihilate. Quagsire, we want Annihilate. And Wigglytuff, we've already seen in the front. We know that he's not switching back into Wigglytuff anytime soon. I think that my brain went, Wigglytuff's off the field. Let me get Annihilate out here now while that fast, super effective attack isn't coming in. But the smarter play would have been to save this energy and go over to Clefable. With knowing that what's in front of me right now is not one of those 2 steel types that resists my Fairy Winds. Unfortunate. Bad play, my part.
The charm was going to be enough to knock out, but we see a switch out from Jello, catching the Mud Bomb. This is a debuffed Mud Bomb, so it's not going to do that much damage.
Decision point for Greg. Does he bring in the Clefable or the Annihilate? Actually goes with the Annihilate, which is good news for Jello. I'm sure he's happy to see this Pokemon here instead of against his Empoleon.
Absolutely, and now we're going to see the Clefable in the back. This could spell disaster for Greg, but first we have to see this matchup play out. We are going to see the Rage Fist getting queued up and going to be thrown into the Quagsire. Jello Too Good probably knows this
the Rage Fist to not should be enough to then farm down here, which is good, but I still have to worry about
shield that up, and it's still able to get to this Aqua Tail.
Like after one shield. I still worry about the Wigglytuff.
It's all over the top usage charts, but Quagsire with energy is intimidating as heck, and now we see the pivot into the Wigglytuff and the Swift in kind. This is going to be double resisted. If Greg
I knew that this was a Swift.
Can hang on.
I agree.
Just want to know if I should take it. I did take it. Good play. I just want to know if I should take extra energy on.
I love this pivot because now you can get a ton of energy with that Fairy Wind. It's going to just be able to. And the Swift
huge
is not
farm
able
down.
to be reached, but now we see the
Here's the
Empoleon.
issue.
So
Here's where I make my next mistake. I was thinking that multiple Meteor Mashes were going to do more damage than a Moonblast connecting. Plus, I had to worry about shields. And that was another thing I had kind of in my mind. Is that shields were going to be unfortunate, even if it was not very effective moves. I didn't want to waste my big Hail Mary move on something that shield. He could shield, but he does end up shielding one of them. But after he shielded the first one, I should have gone for a Moonblast. One Moonblast does more than two Meteor Mashes. And it has the chance of the debuff. But I made the wrong call here as well, which continued to cost me.
tough situation for the Clefable. It's going to be an uphill battle, but it's got its work cut out for it.
What do you think of the Meteor Mash here? I mean, there's a chance that the Moonblast will actually drop the Empoleon's attack, but you think that 3 Meteor Mashes is the more efficient play?
I think that the Moonblast is more than
And even Jello's like, what the fuck is he doing?
There was a huge play from Greg, but going for the Meteor Mash, this is double resisted by both the water and the steel typing of the Empoleon. And now, Empoleon can kind of just chill and farm up as much energy as it wants.
Yeah, I think that's got to be a huge concern. Greg got a massive farm down on the opposing Wigglytuff, but this Clefable energy is going nowhere because Empoleon just bounces it right back. Gonna go for the Hydro.
Come in for the
He's
catch.
got 2 charge attacks loaded. Greg is gonna give up this Unobin Stunfisk.
Yeah, I think Greg is just banking on the fact that the Annihilate might be able to do enough fast attack pressure
to be able to
punish this Empoleon, but it's going to be really tough. The Empoleon has so much energy and so much health remaining.
We've seen Jello switching in Pokemon, and then GoLeagueGregg does it in kind. He's trying to throw out some Pokemon, get some damage on the board, and he's going to pull away that final protection with the Rage Fist. The questions start, can he get to another one?
I don't know. It's going to be really, really close. That Metal Sound just does so much damage. Actually going for the charge attack here might allow the Annihilate to get to that last second.
Here's the mistake I make. I'm now at the Rage Fist. I know he's going to go for the catch, so I go for the farm down. However, in more times than not, Empoleon wins CMP against Annihilate. What I should have done is farm down the Quagsire, and then as soon as Empoleon came back in, caught on my Empoleon. Right? I have Empoleon on my Clefable. I should have caught the attack on my Clefable, and then I could have easily won with a Rage Fist or a close combat, but probably would have Rage Fist because I probably would have not risked what move I was at. However, when he goes for the farm down and Empoleon comes back in, he goes for the move, I go for the move, and his Empoleon wins CMP. If I had gone for the catch and played the majority of the odds that he was going to win CMP, I would have won this battle. Even after all the other mistakes, even after throwing the Meteor Mash instead of the Moonblast, even after throwing the Mud Bomb instead of saving the energy, if I had just went for my own catch, knowing his only win it would have been another coin toss, right? Of, does he think I'm going for the catch now? And he called that I wasn't, and I didn't, and I lose because of that. But I made a lot of mistakes this battle. There's a reason that I didn't win this, and there's multiple showings of it.
Just to be able to punish this Empoleon.
You can either get a fast attack or a charge attack, but you cannot have both. In comes a Quagsire.
Oh my goodness!
Right here. I should have immediately caught.
Down the
Instead, I go for the CMP.
And the Hydro Cannon gets fired off.
This is crazy. This is back and forth last second. Also,
he's a good kid. I know he does. I know Empoleon wins CMP. In most cases, Empoleon wins CMP. My biggest gamble here was, does he think I'm going for the catch? Instead, I called that he thought that I would do that, and played the odds that he had the move, right? When he went for the catch, he already had the move. So I'm thinking also in my head the possibility that his Empoleon does not win CMP here. Otherwise, if he had just thrown the move, he could have won. Unless he was going for the catch or the swap of thinking that I was going to go for the catch. There's a lot of ifs here. There's so many, like, who's going for the catch and then who's not going for the catches. So many coin flips. But I will run this back real quick. I want you to see this.
Oh my god!
Oh, hold on. No, I know. But again, it was a game of who's going to catch. He thought that he was... I don't know if he swapped to his Quagsire thinking that he was going to catch the Rage Fist, or if he swapped to his Quagsire thinking that I was going to swap to my Clefable to get the catch. And then, when we came back into it, he had to again coin flip and say, is he going to go for the catch of his own, or is he going to try to throw the move thinking that I'm thinking he's going to go for the catch? Right? There's so many like split-second decisions here. And he made the right call on the second one. I made the right call on the first one. He made the right call on the second one. I need to make both right calls to win. He just needed to make the right call once. You know what I mean? It was close. It was close. But anyway, watch this. Watch his face. When, again, he's a good kid. I was like, oh, you little shit. But he's a very good kid. And he's a great battler. Watch his face when he realizes that he made one of those calls right. When I need to make both calls right, and he realizes he wins.
Committing to the
Watch
win condition, farms down the Quagsire, doesn't
whoa, stop.
And the Hydra King gets...
Go back.
It's going to be really, really close. That Metal Sound just does so much damage. Actually going for the charge
Ready?
attack here
Watch
might
this.
allow the Annihilate to get to that last-second Rage Fist to be able to punish this Empoleon.
You can either get a fast attack or a charge attack, but you cannot have both. In comes the Quagsire.
Oh, as soon as we see MP, watch his face.
Farms down the Quagsire.
Boom.
Doesn't
Look at that little smirk.
And the Hydra King gets
That little, he did this.
This
He
is
went.
crazy. This is back and forth. Last second,
He
Hydra Cannon's going to
won
be
that
just
one.
enough to knock out the Empoleon on the charge attack priority, and now you could just farm down with the Metal Sounds. Huge win for Jello.
He did that. Yeah, he got me. He got me. In the moment, I was like, oh, you little
because you
shit.
saw the charge attack energy on the Annihilate as well as the Empoleon, but
good for
Jello
him.
too good pulls it out in the end.
Yeah, I think
put
because
it out in
Annihilate is
humor.
a little bit bulkier than you might expect,
anger.
and Empoleon is more attack-weighted than you might expect, it's able to win that charge attack priority. Maybe not all the time, but in this case, it was able to do that and able to take that win for Jello.
It's one of those that is...
So anyway, yes. Again, to recap. If I had the rank, or if I had an attack-weighted one, I probably would have won CMP. Hold on. I have to sneeze. If I had an attack-weighted Annihilate, there was a chance I would have won the CMP. It's either do it or don't. Sorry. But here are the guesses that took in play. Here are all the chances we had to take. He had to swap to an Quagsire, thinking if I would have gone for the Rage Fist if I was attack weighted and would have beaten his Empoleon in the CMP. Right? Then when I farmed him down, he has to make the call. Do I think he's going to catch on his Clefable, or do I think he's going to go for the attack? And if he goes for the attack, do I think that I can out CMP him? Do I think he doesn't have an attack weight Annihilate? So really the odds were higher in his favor to wait for my catch? No. Even in that case, if I had gone for the catch, it would have made sense for him to... He would have lost regardless. Right? If he's thinking I have an attack-weighted Annihilate, then if he goes for the catch, it doesn't matter. Or if I go for the catch, it doesn't matter. Because whether I stayed in and through or waited in and through, I would have beat him in CMP. So he played, the only win he had there was that he wins CMP, and he was correct. And he won CMP, and that's the only reason I lost that battle. In that moment, on top of the fact that I didn't throw the Moonblast instead of the Meteor Mashes, and then I threw that -1 Mud Bomb when I should have saved the energy. A lot of mistakes on my end. And then a bad coin flip at the very end.
Very, very case specific. Depending on which Piplup you catch or which Mankey you capture and power up, it can really determine that matchup. So this is an interesting tech from Jello Too Good. Maybe he knew he wanted his Empoleon to win those exchanges every time.
Yeah, and what's interesting is those Pokemon get the charge attacks very quickly and very congruently. So because of that energy disparity, you can't really switch in Annihilate into an Empoleon now, knowing that matchup is not as cut and dry as you might expect.
That's such a valuable piece of information. I'm sure that Greg is going to keep that in mind as you move into Battle number 2. I want to remind everybody, because we bounce around a lot in the bracket, and I think that Pokemon Go is the only bracket here this weekend that is double elimination. We're on the loser's side. So if Greg loses this next battle, his run in Houston is over. He's got to figure out a way to fight his way back into the series, tie it up, and then see where he can go from there.
Yeah, it's a really tough scene for Greg here, but he can hang on and buckle on his bootstraps and, you know, ride that horse into the sunset if he so chooses, and if he gets the right situation here. We are riding into game number 2 with the Wigglytuff versus the Empoleon.
And this lead is the perfect way to spur that journey along, because the steel typing is going to be great for him. We see the instant pivot into the Quagsire. GoLeagueGregg goes for his trusty Annihilate.
Yeah, Annihilate is a really good answer into the Quagsire, because it's able to tank with those Aqua Tails relatively well and fire back with boosted Rage Fist or close combat.
So with this one,
right. Rage Fist numero
I had a
uno
feeling he was going to lead Wigglytuff
from
again.
The Annihilate. This is going to deal a little bit of damage into the Quagsire, but no threat as Jello forgoes the shield almost immediately, and he realizes he will get to the next Aqua Tail fast, and he's got time to spare.
Yeah, it's fast and furious. These Aqua Tails are getting fired off back to back to back, but Annihilate is able to utilize that shield effectively and potentially overfarm to get a little bit more energy for that next matchup, whether it's the Wigglytuff or something else in the back.
Keeping up the pressure, GoLeagueGregg attempts another Rage Fist, and we get a Shield in Kind from Jello. Too good, but the pacing is still on the Quagsire side.
Yeah, this is really tough because you don't want to just allow switch advantage to go back into the favor of Jello, because you know you have that Empoleon versus the Fairy type in the back, and now you can actually get even more ramped up energy, and you see a switch out right away into the Empoleon. I love this play because now you have the Clefable in the back to be able to Meteor Mash the potential Wigglytuff as well.
Almost a close combat loaded on the Annihilate, and Greg is able to save that Pokemon and its energy with the switch out.
So, oh god, I'm leaking out my nose again. That was my exact plan. Is that as soon as I saw the Wigglytuff come out, I said, there is next to nothing that we can't take on with Empoleon and then clean up with Annihilate if I need to, right? With these two Pokemon, I can take on whatever his third Pokemon is, and I know from there Clefable has the Wigglytuff win. I am so safe to swap into Empoleon here and have this huge advantage. This huge advantage, because I know that he's going to swap out Wigglytuff for something else. So yeah, this was just perfectly orchestrated. This battle right here was everything I could have wanted it to be.
A very heads-up play, recognizing the position that he's in, does go for the Hydro Cannon on Charge Tech priority, and Jello, his Empoleon, takes this one as well.
They're going to win battle 2. Oh, BL, I did too. I did too.
You got switch advantage, but you can give it up in order to have a better matchup in the back. That is a heads-up, huge play, 10-head from Greg.
Think about it as well. With the Empoleon on the field here, Jello knows that this is the hardest counter to his Wigglytuff, so he's going to allow the Hydro Cannon through, go for his own Charge Attack again on Charge Attack priority, and save that final Protect Shield for his Charmer.
One thing to recognize is Jello Too Good has consistently gone.
I could not have orchestrated this battle any better. This is exactly what I wanted the entire time.
More attack weighted than people might think.
Whoa, actually sends in the Annihilate and then fast pivots out into the Clefable, but this is the power of the Clefable with the Meteor Mash. The Charm does leak through, however, this is going to command that last Protect Shield from Jello. Too good.
Again, bad timing.
Open the door.
I gotta get better with my swap
Meteor Mash or even an Annihilate close combat.
Yeah, I think this is a huge play. This Icy Wind will definitely allow the Wigglytuff to survive that next Meteor Mash, but like you said, that close combat is waiting in the wings, so it really just depends on how much health is going to be remaining on that Annihilate when that Empoleon comes back in, and is Empoleon going to get to that charge attack? We'll have to see and find out.
Oh, the question actually becomes in my mind if the Rage Fist will be enough, because this Wigglytuff is really weak and you need a little energy to carry over. Goes for the Rage Fist, double resisted. This is the first stage, it's not boosted at all. Will it be enough?
This is really, really close. I think it's going to be just enough, and it knocks out the Wigglytuff. Now it comes down to Annihilate versus that Empoleon, and you're able to low kick down. Huge win from Annihilate.
I absolutely needed that. I saw that play out in the battle against Shadow Brandino. I've seen that win con before. I saw it again. I was determined to get it. I was going to get it. I did get it. That battle went the exact way I wanted it to from the moment it said go. I know it looked like it was close. It was all part of the plan. I just wish I had done basically the same thing for the next battle. He led Wigglytuff twice. I was not banking on him leading Wigglytuff all 3 times. And that ends up being my downfall here in just a minute.
Greg releases his rage to tie up the series here 1-1 in Houston, staying alive in the bracket.
That was beautifully done. I really like what he was able to do and kind of utilize that Empoleon as a safe switch once he realized that the Quagsire was gone on the opposing side. He was able to just switch in the Empoleon, not have to worry about anything, and take that game number 2.
The key moment for me was bailing out the Annihilate after he was weakened and saving all that energy, because we saw Jello come back in with the Wigglytuff, and then Greg reached right here. Actually, oh my goodness. Great replays. Greg reaches for the Clefable, bails out that Annihilate, not once, but twice in that battle, and that energy at the end was the key.
Yeah, and getting that that last second knockout with the Rage Fist into that Wigglytuff, huge play, because that was not a guaranteed knockout. And then from there, you had those boosted low kicks to be able to do super effective damage into that Empoleon and take the win.
This is a pivotal battle for 2 trainers that are completing their best championship series runs in their competitive careers. Jello has seen the ups and the downs. It's been tough, but it's also been joyous. We're going to see how this battle number 3 goes. One of these trainers is about to be eliminated.
Here we go. Decisive game number 3. Winner moves on. Loser goes home. Here's...
Oh, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Had I led Empoleon again, I probably would have won this. But keep it going.
Annihilate into the Wigglytuff. We see an immediate safe switch into the Furret. I really like this because there's no immediate answer on the team of 6 for Jello. Bringing out the Furret at the last second, but getting a charm through.
And that's the thing, right? Jello looks at the team from GoLeagueGregg and he says, if you don't lead Empoleon, you really can't answer my Wigglytuff straight up. So I'm just going to go and play the numbers here. Wigglytuff reaching the Icy Wind versus the Furret. The Sucker Punch is not doing much. This is going to start to add up.
Yeah, Furret getting the cold shoulder here, lowering its attack, getting to that Swift just before it's getting knocked out from these charms. The charm still does a ton of damage. This Swift is going to be reduced damage, so it's not going to do as much as the last one. And we see the Wigglytuff definitely hang on there, and now is able to just charm down the Furret.
Top usage Pokemon in Houston. You know what I mean? Wigglytuff looks as dominant as ever, and with not a lot of great options, Greg is going to have to reveal his 3rd Pokemon here, right?
Absolutely, but we see there's no Empoleon waiting in the wings for this Fairy type in the back. And we actually see a Swift here instead of the guaranteed debuff with Icy Wind. Swift, I believe, does more damage, so that is probably why Jello went for the Swift here, trying to get as much damage as possible.
At this moment, I definitely thought that he had
Pokemon before the Wigglytuff goes down. And now you have a decision to make. In comes the Quagsire. We see an immediate swap into
now I'm like, what? At this moment, I go, Charge-a-Bug? What do you mean you brought Charge-a-Bug? Charge-a-Bug had the worst composition into my team. I'm like, what's going on here? But Charge-a-Bug was also the second answer, the second clean answer for him into my Annihilate, which was being the biggest problem for him. So that makes sense for sure. Because resisting those fast moves, it's bulky enough that it can take a few, and he can really realign this. But I was still very surprised to see Charge-a-Bug and not Corviknight, right?
By the Annihilate.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Annihilate doesn't have a great typing matchup fighting into Bug Electric, but it's got Protect Shields, and behind those shields, it can ramp up these Rage Fists.
Spellbringer! Oh my gosh, Spellbringer raid!
Here for
Hold on.
But he's
huge shout out to Spellbringer! Spelly! Shout out at Spellbringer. Spellbringer, welcome to the stream. Trainers, Raiders, welcome on into the stream. Thanks for being here, Spell. How was your stream? How's your day going? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. We are finishing up our Houston recap. We're going over all the battles that we did, including the one you guys didn't see. Me versus Shadow Brandino. Duet with Katie. Oh, how fun. Hope you guys had a great time. I'm dripping out the nose in allergies, and we're recapping the whole Houston. We got over every battle, every moment, all the highlights, just having a great time, covering what I could have done better, covering where we really excelled, and just, yeah, Man, wish you were there. I am. I'm leaking, buddy. Help. Allergies. Allergies are kicking my ass right now. And I took something already. But welcome on in. I hope that your duo went well. Or your battles went well. Thank you for the bless you. We are in what is going to end up being my last battle. Spoiler alert, I don't win this.
Got to be very careful about managing this ghost and fighting type.
Yeah, I really like the shield on the side of Greg because if you take that discharge damage, then you're in a potential situation where the Charger Bug could just double shield and
Here's
you
another
could
thing.
get Volt Switch down, and then you're left with just Clefable. So
does he shield
huge
here?
play there,
Yeah.
going for the Rage Fist, boosting the attack again. We see another
on the next
shield
one.
on the side of the Charger Bug.
I could have thrown
this is a
one
war of
extra.
attrition between two Pokemon that do not want to budge, but one of them will eventually give in.
Also a bad play
Discharge
on mine,
number 2 gets shielded
which would have made a
up.
difference.
This is a great shield call as well. GoLeagueGregg recognizes this is the pressure point, the pivot point of this
So right
entire
here.
battle.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see
I
another
threw
Rage Fist
that
coming
thinking
through,
that
throwing
this Rage Fist
basically
would
right
knock
away,
out,
getting that
right?
extra counter or low kick through.
And in doing so here's the many things here. You got to throw on the odds when it comes to 5-turn moves, right? Got to throw on the odds. So the 1s, the 3s, the 5s, etc. If I 1 and throw here, and he takes it, I think that my Rage Fists are boosted enough that it will knock out and I won't take any damage from the Volt Switch. If I go for 2, and he goes for the 3rd one, right? He goes for another Volt Switch and shields, I'm done, right? If I go for the 3, he only needs to throw... He can knock me out, or he could throw a move during my 3rd low kick, and again, I'm now out of shields. So my real only option here is to throw the 1, throw the Rage Fist, hope that it knocks out, and go from there. Unfortunately, it does live just a little bit, I think.
To make sure that the damage does not register.
Oh, no, it
for
doesn't.
Volt Switch.
Okay,
And
that was a
now
different battle.
We're going to see a race to the charge move. Obviously, the Quagsire is going to
Maybe
win
it's this
that
one.
charge
Oh,
attack.
right here.
The charge.
Right here. I want everybody to look at what my HP is. How do I zoom in? Can you look at what my HP is? There it is. Oh. What the hell just happened? Why is Clefable on the screen? Oh, I must have hit forward. Sorry.
Move pace.
Take a look. How do I zoom in? At my HP. When this is happening, in my mind, in my opinion, I should have lived this. I've seen so many Aqua Tails come in, including multiple from his Quagsire already today. I didn't think I was living with a lot, but I thought I was going to live this Aqua Tail. If I didn't think I was going to live this Aqua Tail, I would have caught on Clefable. I thought I was living this Aqua Tail. I thought I was about to throw a +2 or +3 Rage Fist and then clean it up with Moon Blast. I so thought I was going to live this Aqua Tail. I'm actually devastated that I didn't. I really, really thought I was going to live this.
Because it's only 4.
Yeah, exactly. Annihilate did a great job there, but now
But
it
it
all
is
comes down to Clefable, and I don't think there's enough time to
barely
get
enough.
to 2 Moonblasts. This might be a bait scenario for the win. GoLeagueGregg YOLOs the Moonblast, and the shield goes up.
There is one chance. The attack drop from the Moonblast might allow Clefable to survive. No attack drop, and now here comes the Aqua Tail. Can Clefable survive, or is Quagsire's oppressive Aqua Tail too much? And we see the Aqua Tail come through. It survives, but can you get to another move? No! The Mudshots come through, and Quagsire takes game.
And that's it. And that is unfortunately where my run ends for Houston 2026. I thought Annihilate was going to live that Aqua Tail. I truly, truly thought Annihilate was going to live that Aqua Tail. Then on top of that, if I gotten the attack debuff from the Moonblast, I would have made it to a second Moonblast. I had a couple outs, and just like in the first battle where he won, he got all the rights that he needed to win the battle, and I unfortunately just didn't get the ones I needed. There were so many different factors that could have played into that game The first battle, like I said, who's going to catch, who's not going to catch, who's going to throw, who's going to win CMP. So many things happening there. With this one, going for the Rage Fist, and if he's going to shield, right? And then if he does or doesn't shield, what to do there with the Charger Bug. And then thinking I was going to live that Aqua Tail. I look at that HP and I go, that's enough to live an Aqua Tail. But I ran it back and I looked at the numbers, and it was literally, quite literally, the exact amount of damage. He did literally the exact amount of HP he needed to. If I had one more HP, I would have won. I would have gotten off the Rage Fist. I would have gotten off the Moonblast. One of those two would have knocked it out. And I would have kept on and made it to your top 8, tying for 5th at the very least, right? 8, 9, 10. Sorry, 8, 7, 6, 5, yeah. Tying for at least, making it to at least tying for 5th place. It wasn't enough Greg screen time. I agree, Doms. Doms, welcome to the stream, by the way. I could not agree more. We needed more Greg screen time. And we're going to get it in Orlando. But even though I made some poor calls along the way, I should have thrown the fucking Swift. I should have caught in this first round. I should have... What else? There were other calls I could have made. Regardless of it all, this was my best run yet. I made top 12. I tied for 9th place. I was on stream not once, not twice, not thrice, but 4 times. I got a bunch of points, I'm sure. Hasn't hit my Play Pokemon app yet. I won a bunch of stuff. I had a great time, my friends. It was such a great weekend. I cannot be mad about my best run yet. I can only take the things that I did wrong and do better next time. And I'm going to do better next time. What is today? It's Thursday, right? Yeah. By this time next week, I will be on an airplane on my way to Orlando. Isn't that nuts? Isn't that crazy? By this time next week, I'll be on a plane on my way to Orlando. And I'm going to do even better in Orlando. I can beat Axon for you. I'm going to beat them all. I'm going to beat all of them. Neuro, thank you. Neuro Dylan, I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for the congratulations. Thank you for complimenting the work. I'm so glad you're a fan. I'm so grateful to have you here. We're going to have all of you here. We did it. We made an incredible run. This has been a fantastic recap as well of the Houston 2026 regional event where I was a top 12 finalist competitor. What a great run. So that's that. That's the full recap. If anyone has any questions or anyone wants to talk about anything specific from the event, let me know. But I had such a great time with my friends. I had a great time playing. I had a great time making new friends, meeting new people, seeing some people that I know and care about for the very first time. I don't think I could have had a better event internally if I had tried. One last thing I got, by the way, for our Yap session, 3:45. I told you it was going to be a long Yap session. I'm a huge fan of you as well. Not only did I prize out, let me show you what I prized out. Well, actually, let me show you what I got for free first. If you go on stream and you don't have a shirt that is an official Pokemon shirt, that has any kind of like logo, insignia, anything else, any kind of detail on it, they will tell you have to change your shirt. Now, I was wearing all official Pokemon shirts. However, I still wanted a shirt. So I got one. Now, when I went back there the first time, all they had were green shirts. The same shirt you see Isari wearing in our battle. And I got a green shirt, and I was grateful for the green shirt because I'm grateful for everything. Anything that's ever given to you, you need to have gratitude behind. But purple's my favorite color. Purple's my absolute favorite color. And I asked if he had a purple because I when he pulled the green out of the treasure chest, because it literally is just a chest of shirts. I was like, hey, happened to notice that in that pile there are some purple shirts. Do you think I could trade you my green for my purple? And he said, I can't. The ones we have today are only green. All the other colors that are in that chest don't have any logos on them. It's just a plain purple shirt. And I went, oh, yeah, I have plenty of plain purple shirts. I want a purple shirt with the logo on it. So the next day when I went back on stream and I went back behind the stage and did all my things, at the very end, you know, I talked to them, they congratulated me, and we had a great conversation. And I said, hey, listen, question for you. By any chance, I don't know, do you have a purple shirt today? I know I'm asking for a lot. I know it's a second shirt, but I'd really appreciate it. And he's like, I don't, but give me a second. And he went on over to the VGC area, and he brought me with him. And he's like, what size are you? And I said, medium. He said, oof, I only have larges. And I said, I'll take a large. Check it out. Check it out. I got one. I got a purple Play Pokemon shirt because I was on stream. How cool is this? Let's go. This is like my favorite shade of purple too. This is amazing. You have no idea how happy this makes me. I'm also bricked up. You can tell in a minute when I go behind this, when I back up a little more. But yeah, so, I got that, right? And then, because I made it to top 12, since I tied for 9th, I also prized out like this. Check it out, check it out, check it out, check it out. This isn't just any old booster box, right? Or booster bundle? This is a sealed. Look at that. See that? See the wrapper? Sealed. It's a sealed booster. What are these called again? Booster box or booster bundles? Sealed booster something. Booster box. A sealed booster box of Mega Evolution's Phantasmal Flames. How cool is this? I've never gotten a sealed product from these events because when you go to the prize wall, they have to unseal it. Those are the rules. Gaming Prodigy, isn't this sick? Also, welcome to the stream. So yeah, that's staying on the shelf for sure. I won that. I competed and I won this. I also used my prize wall tickets to get some packs of cards and an ETB, whatever the one with Roaring Moon on the outside is. I got that ETB for my collection. I had a really great event. Hold on, I gotta sneeze again. Oh my god. Oh god, that one hurt. Yeah, I'm saving mine. Oh, that would hurt. My eyes are getting fucking red. I'm saving mine. Oh, Jelane's back. Jelane, you would know better than anybody. What ETB did I get? The one with Roaring Moon on the outside. Also, how was your stream? Welcome on back. Shout out to Laney Dragonair. There you go. Yep, you're right, Gaming Prodigy. It is, in fact, Paradox Rift. So I got an ETB sealed. I got a bunch of cards, and I got a sealed booster box of Phantasmal Flames. All right, take the levels in the middle, womp womp. Ugh, I feel that. I definitely feel that for sure. I had such an amazing time in Houston. This is my best event so far, obviously. And it's only going to go up from here. I gotta tell you, I really counted myself out for Worlds. I did not think I was going to make it to Worlds. But depending on how many points I get for making it, for placing 9th, or tied for 9th, but still placing 9th, I I might still have a shot at this. That and the fact that I'm planning on winning Orlando next week. So we'll see. But yeah, I can do it. I can do it still. I'm not out of this just yet. Here's why I am out of, though. And this is really going to be unfortunate for anyone that... hey, Orlando Champ. Hey, Gaming Prodigy. Thank you. That's right. Speaking into existence. Absolutely. Absolutely. I hear Houston had really good strip clubs. What's your opinion? You know what? It was pretty decent ones. Wait a second. You're not going to trick me like that. Supposed to have met you in person. Oh, I could not agree more. It was such an absolute honor to meet you, to meet Texas Made, to meet Mr. Bug, to get to hang out with Will Cujo, to hang out with Ogun, to hang out with Phoenix the Boss, to hang out with Arrow and Pocket and Dez. Dez was there to meet Fern. I know I'm missing people. To meet Mott and play against him on stage. To play against and beat Ashton Ash. To play against Jello Too Good, right? NTC. I'm trying to think what else I saw there that I got to hang out with and like even exchange some words with. Caleb. All the casters that I got to meet. Finally, like we were in passing, but we never really had any exchange words except for me and D. But yeah, this was awesome. What a great weekend. What an absolutely great event. And to think this story started with the fact that I wasn't going to go because hotels were too expensive, flights were too close at times, and everything being so crazy, it was just like, I guess I'll miss this one. I almost didn't go. And instead I took 9th place. How amazing is that? Which is why I'm so excited to go to Orlando. I'm staying locked in. I'm going to do some scrims. I'm going to try to really sharpen in my team. And my skills and my everything. Because those silly mistakes I made could have taken me so much further if I didn't make them. But the great plays that I did make are the ones that got me there. So we cannot beat ourselves up entirely. That's all we can do, right, Isiri? Lock in, Greg. We're definitely doing that. Here is some unfortunate words for everybody. I can't breathe anymore. Every time that I talk, that I don't take a breath like that, I'm just holding my breath. And you guys know I'm very long-winded. This whole time, this sentence right now is just me holding my breath. I can't breathe through my nose anymore. I could at the beginning of the stream. I can't anymore. And my eyes are starting to water and hurt. And we've been talking for 4 hours. And I meant to do my battles for the next 2 hours up until midnight since we have extra battles. I can't breathe. I need to end the stream. Unfortunately, this is going to be an exclusively Houston recap stream with no battles. And you can blame pollen and the trees and the wind and Mother Nature. Because if I was able to breathe, we'd be going for the next 2 hours still. We'd do a whole 5-hour stream. But guys, I can't breathe. I need to take a shower and put on some Vicks Vapor Rub and take a Benadryl and knock the fuck out because I have work at 6 a.m. I know. I'm upset about it too. I need to be able to breathe. I need to do all this prep stuff. It's going to require Benadryl, and I'm not going to be able to stay awake. And I can't keep... Time out. I need to end the stream. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm bleeding. See that one? That one's got blood in it. I'm not doing so well. I'm not even sickies. I'm just allergies. The rest of me feels fine. It's just my nose and then my chest because of it. Oh, I'm really bleeding. Hold on. Everyone, hang tight. It wasn't just some blood. I'm actually bleeding. Oh, yeah. You're a scammer? Okay. There. Hold that tight for now. I'm going to try to talk at this angle. Boo-hoo, battle sneezy. That's my new favorite comment of all time. I'm pinning that. Oh, that's great. That's too funny. But I will be ending the stream regardless. I'm going to get some Benadryl, some Vapor Rub, a hot shower, and I'm going to bed. But I got to tell you, this recap was so much fun. And I'm going to do my very best to make sure that we do a proper recap the Monday or Tuesday after, probably Monday actually, because I fly back Sunday night. So Monday, what was that, the 5th? Question mark, question mark? Right? Oh my god. Oh my god, my stupid calendar. Stop. Why does all my technology not work? This is so annoying. Monday the 6th. Monday the 6th, I'm going to try to make sure I have everything ready for that stream for the recap. And it's going to be great. Oh, it's going to be so beautiful. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. No, I cannot wait. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I got for you guys tonight. I'm going to go take care of myself. I appreciate you being here for this fun recap. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, let me know. Maybe we won't do this from Orlando. If you didn't like it, I would have liked to have done battles as well, but life keeps kicking me in the balls. And I got to just adapt. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for joining for this fun recap of the Houston 2026 regional event where I was one of your top 12 finalists, tying for 9th place at my best run ever. I learned a lot, not only from battling, not only from the mistakes I made and from the right decisions I made. This recap has also helped me. I know that we're going to keep going. I know this channel is going to keep blowing up. The better we do, we're going to keep running with it. And I'm so grateful for all the people that were here. Yapper 9000, absolutely. That's me. That's me to a T. So you better believe. I cannot breathe. That's making it so much worse. I had to take that thing out. For those that are new, for those that don't know me, for those that didn't hear me talk about myself for the last 4 hours, I'm GoLeagueGregg. You can find me at GoLeagueGregg on Twitch, YouTube, X, and TikTok. I stream live Monday through Friday. For the most up-to-date schedule, please join our Discord server. ! Discord in the chat right now. It's for everything GoLeagueGregg. And it's for everything Pokemon in general. That's Pokemon Go. That's TCG Pocket. That's Nuzlocke. That is VGC. That's regular TCG. That is scrims and strategies and events like your weekly events in-game, your regional events, your Go Fests and Go Tours. We do a tournament once a month. You name it, we got it. It is undoubtedly, inarguably, the #1 place for anything and everything Pokemon. I could not recommend a space better than the Go Lounge, and it's because of all the people that are members. The members are what make it so special. I do all my live streams here on Twitch. I then immediately upload the Twitch recordings to our YouTube channel, and I clip highlight moments and key matches to post on X and TikTok. If you could do me a very huge favor, please like, follow. If you have the means to subscribe to the channel. If you don't, that is more than okay. I completely understand because it's never a requirement. We will never ask anyone to do anything outside of their means. In fact, we'll never ask anyone to do anything that costs them money. We can say for sure, go ahead and do it. Like, for example, Mario Surreal subscribed at Tier 1 for 2 months earlier. Labrador subscribed at Tier 1 for 1 month. Icery subscribed for 12 more months. I cannot believe that one still. We had so many great raids. We have so many new followers, not only from the weekend, but from today's Yap session, and from all the raids that came in. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you. So here's the free things I'm always going to ask you to do, because I'm never going to ask you to do the paid things. We can suggest it, but we'll never require it, and it'll never be something that you need to do. The free things you can do are hitting the follow button, are hitting the like button, joining the Discord. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub on Twitch every single month. Use your Prime sub here on the GoLeagueGregg stream. We have no problem asking for that because we know it's not going to cost you a single extra cent. If you don't know what a Prime sub is, message me. I will gladly walk you through the process. Oh my goodness. Jelaine, Laney Dragonair just cheered with 10 bits to give us the giant Kingler. Look at that big boy. Look at that big boy. That's right. That's right. He doing the... That's my boy. That's my goat. W Kingler. Jelaine, thank you so much for the bits. Bits are insane. That's money. Cookie. Absolutely. He's the goat. He's the king. And he's going to come with us everywhere we go. That is a funny little new thing. Isn't that great? Isn't that amazing? So yeah, hit the like button, hit the follow button, join the Discord. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub every single month. It's called a Prime sub. Please use it on the GoLeagueGregg stream. But the number one thing you can do that will always be free is to be here, to hang out, to have a good time. Just join us while we play this game we all love. And yeah, sometimes we do recaps of playing this game we love. But at the end of the day, it's just about having fun. The chat is my favorite part of this, to be able to just hang out with you guys, even if it's for 4 hours, to yap and recap, just have a good time. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you again for being here, and I'll see each and every one of you again tomorrow, where we actually do some battles. How's that sound? I think that sounds great. Until then, everyone, have yourselves a great night. Goodbye, everybody.